priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Wednesday, May 31st. Our top story, the Wisconsin congressional delegation jockeys for position as the House prepares to vote on a debt ceiling deal.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Tech leaders warn of the end of humanity.
I'm Brandon Snod. A losing trend continues for Craig's crew in Toronto.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We are in the clear at the moment. Light ride, full freeway speeds, and no delays. Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Summer-like weather today in your Storm Team forecast. Warm and humid. Chance of a pop-up afternoon rain or storm. A little bit of rain and possibly a storm mixed in there. High of 84 degrees at the lake, 88 inland, then partly cloudy tonight with a low down to 61. Right now we're at 64 degrees already. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, today's the day. On Capitol Hill, House lawmakers are expected to vote on a debt limit deal brokered by President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. ABC's Justin Finch.
Many progressive Democrats and conservative Republicans are coming out against the deal, each accusing their leadership of making too many concessions. Still, the Republican-led House Rules Committee cleared the measure for a floor vote. The bill calls for suspending the debt ceiling until January 2025, clawing back $30 billion in COVID relief, rescinding $20 billion in IRS funding, ending the federal student loan repayments freeze in August, and adding new work requirements for some Americans on food assistance.
The Wisconsin congressional delegation is mixed on the debt deal. Congresswoman Gwen Moore tells the Journal Sentinel that she is not happy with it. GOP Congressman Brian Stile and Derek Van Orden both have said that they support the agreement. As for Democrat Mark Pocan and Republican Tom Tiffany, as of Tuesday, the paper says both were undecided. No word yet from Republican Glenn Grothman or Republican Mike Gallagher. As for your senators, Senator Ron Johnson tells the paper he is probably a no, and Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin's spokesperson says she is still reviewing the measure.
Wisconsin's abortion ban would be tweaked under a package of measures being proposed by state Republican lawmakers. Measures would clarify the medical procedures designed to save a pregnant woman's life don't qualify as abortion. Governor Tony Evers would likely veto the measure. Another bill in the package would increase the tax exemption that parents can claim for each dependent from $700 to $1,000 and extend eligibility to parents of unborn children. Parents could claim the exemption as soon as an ultrasound detects a heartbeat in the unborn child.
A warning from experts and leaders of tech companies that humanity is at risk from artificial intelligence. In a letter signed by the chief executives for the company that created ChatGPT, as well as Google and Microsoft, the Center for AI Safety calls for an immediate pause on all work on AI systems for at least 6 months in order to take stock on all of the risks. The letter urges governments to step in the case of anyone who's unwilling to stop. It also warns that labs locked in an out-of-control race will create increasingly powerful systems that no one can predict or control. Dan Hendricks is the director of the Center for AI Safety.
We're in fact saying that it could end the human race. We're not talking about the current ChatGPT models or anything like that. We're talking about potential future versions of AI.
This is the latest in several high-profile warnings, including a letter signed by Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak calling for a 6-month pause.
A longtime military man now leading a new flight
Retired General Kelly McCaig is the head of the Defense POW MIA accounting agency. He tells WTMJ there's thousands of soldiers still to identify.
There are close to 81,000 that are still missing. That's an incredible number. And of that, we estimate 37,000 to be recoverable.
It was his organization that identified USS Oklahoma sailor David Riley, who was laid to rest in Wisconsin Memorial Day weekend.
The Riley family, who some family members never met the seaman. However, they know everything about Seaman Riley.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Coming up, the end of a popular streaming show, or is it? Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:04.
Don't miss out on the Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. For 2 weeks, enjoy 35% off Norwalk Upholstery. Norwalk Furniture is an Ohio-based company specializing in handcraft upholstered furniture since 1902. Create a sofa or chair as unique as you are with our thousands of customizable options. If you want spectacular discounts on the best furniture you'll ever own, stop in at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield and Highway 100 in Greenfield. Memorial Day sale ends June 5th.
Milwaukee mattresses are made with the finest materials and support systems. Innerspring, latex rubber, individually pocketed, or gel memory foam choices give you every comfort option. Take a test rest and you'll feel the quality and see a price tag marked hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Why? Because they come direct from our factory and sold at our Ken Michaels Furniture stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, where no middleman means no extra markup and real savings for you.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow harvested from your body and then placed back into your body get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, it's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. With some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Spas! The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only to the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% off retail. This weekend only at the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:07.
Brewers blasted in Toronto. Brandon Snide looks ahead to the next game of the series in sports at 5:15.
Common Council set to approve new regulations for food trucks in the city today. The ordinance, sponsored by Alderman Joe Costas-Amaripa and Jonathan Brostoff, would create a zone where the trucks are limited to 6 hours in one spot and set as a 1 a.m. curfew. We'd also create a second zone that limits the amount of food trucks that can gather near places like Burnham Park, with the goal being to reduce litter and disruption from those trucks.
The U.S. Coast Guard is searching for a man who fell from a cruise ship off the coast of Florida. Ronnie Peel Jr. went overboard on Monday. He's from Virginia. WTKR reporter Angela Bone.
Passengers who were with him that morning tell me he was intoxicated. A Carnival spokesperson said an initial review of security video confirms he leaned over the railing of his stateroom balcony. The Carnival website shows the height of those balcony rails is 45 inches, almost 4 feet high. As for the timing, falling during the early morning hours may have made things worse, as many were sleeping.
Coast Guard already spent 20 hours searching more than 4,000 square miles, and that was by just Tuesday afternoon.
Anger growing at the site of a partial building collapse in Davenport, Iowa, as family members demand to know why the city cleared that building for demolition. 5 people remain unaccounted for, including 2 who officials now say are likely inside the building debris. ABC's Rhiannon Ally.
Officials plan to bring down the building yesterday morning, saying search with dogs, drones, and thermal imaging showed no signs of life. But just before the demolition was set to begin, Lisa Brooks appeared at a 4th floor window. Rescuers then pulled Brooks to safety more than 24 hours after the collapse.
I was just so afraid that I was going to die and don't see my kids, my grandkids.
Now, city officials are looking at how to safely conduct another search, as 5 tenants are still unaccounted for.
One of TV's most talked about and critically acclaimed comedies might just have ended. Or maybe not.
Did Ted Lasso just walk off the pitch for good? The finale of season 3 dropped overnight. Co-creator and star Jason Sudeikis has said it wraps up the 3-season story they'd always set out to tell. Writer and star Brett Goldstein tells me he's not sure if it's over, but it certainly feels like a chapter has ended.
I feel very emotional about the whole thing. I love and have loved making this show so much. And whatever happens, I'm not currently working every day with these people, and that is sad.
What do you say to a cocktail, Coach Lasso?
Oh, the same thing I'd say to Diane Sawyer if she ever asked me out on a date. Yes, please.
There's been no official word from Apple on the fate of Ted Lasso. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
What? That's why that show's funny.
Fantastic program.
Diane Sawyer? Okay. 5:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Inflation isn't going away anytime soon. As the cost of everything from food to vacations to your electric bill rises, you may wonder if your retirement plans are still on track. Annex Wealth Management can help. It starts at annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button. From there, our in-house planning team will create your wealth metric, a snapshot of where you are and where you're headed. Wealth Metric will help you understand the impact inflation may have on your plans. Get started today. Visit annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Rourke here. When it comes to memory care and assisted living, you want a team that knows compassion and empathy. That's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know, my grandma's in assisted living. I have an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, right now in memory care. At Azura, they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. 14 locations in Wisconsin, AzuraLiving.com, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. The teams I trust are at Azura. AzuraLiving.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Checking into the roads here at 11 minutes after 5. Debbie.
It's a quiet ride right now, Vince. Really not seeing any kind of delays. We got full freeway speeds and road conditions looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: warm, humid, and sunny. Chance of an afternoon pop-up shower, clap of thunder. Highs in the mid-80s at the lakefront, upper 80s farther inland. It's a copy and paste forecast for our Thursday and Friday. We're looking at low 80s at the lakefront, mid to upper 80s inland with a chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. Mostly sunny and warm for Saturday. Highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, and we'll hold on to some sunshine on Sunday. Highs around 77 degrees in the east, mid-80s in the west. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
At 5:12, we're at 64 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
You know, in sports, they call it being in the zone. And it's not just reserved for professional athletes. You know, Aaron Rodgers had gone out and had a game where he couldn't miss, hitting everybody. You know, Giannis has his 50-plus games. He's in the zone, right?
Sure, yeah.
He's feeling everything. Everything's working. But hopefully everybody who's played sports on one level or another, even when you were a kid, like had those games or those days or those competitions where you're like, I can't miss.
Or if you're playing an instrument or doing anything, right?
Sure,
Any
you
type
could,
of performance or
any activity, right? You're a singer. You're out there. That was a great performance.
Yeah.
Like
Just
couldn't do
belting
anything.
it. Just hit that note.
In the zone, and it's an elusive space. Like because if it's happened to you, like you're sometimes not sure the road you traveled to get you there, right? It's like, what did I do?
How can I replicate this?
Yes. Did I eat breakfast or did I not eat breakfast or I slept well or I did this the night before or I did meditation or visualization or something. How did I get to this point where I was super awesome at what I was doing, right? So competitive tennis season started for me last night.
Here we go.
First match. All right.
Competitive tennis season as opposed to
just going out and hitting around. So like two league play, if you will.
All right.
I'm in 2 leagues, Tuesday league, Thursday league. Okay. So Tuesday league kicked off last night, okay? And I was in whatever the opposite of the zone is. Nothing worked.
Man.
Terrible.
Come on.
And I played doubles. My partner, he wasn't having a good night either.
I don't know. You hold yourselves up to a high bar, though.
No, but you know when you got it and when you don't. We did not have it. We scraped out an ugly win because
and you still won.
Our opponents also, there's 4 of us on the court, and nobody was having a good day.
How you feeling this morning, by the way?
Not great. No, a little. Feel like the Tin Man, need the oil can.
Yeah.
A little bit here, a little bit there. Everybody asking about my knee always. How's the knee? I'm like, it's good. That part was fixed.
Knee's fine.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. A bonus read for you there. 5:14. Brandon Snide has sports for professional athletes. That's coming up next. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. At LAK Group, they call great leaders agile leaders, those who inspire and are agents of change, driving organizational improvement. These leaders attract talent and positively impact business outcomes. LAK creates agile leaders, offering custom leadership development programs tailored to your organization's mission. They can take you from good to great. Learn more about the leadership development programs at LAK Group. Visit transformingcareers.com. LAK Group. Discover your human advantage.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's own Weniger Compressor has been in business since 1932, breathing new life into businesses all throughout the Midwest. Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Available anytime at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Milwaukee Brewers were back at it last night, this time north of the border in Toronto. It started out good for Milwaukee after the Brewers scored 2 in the first inning, but the Blue Jays went ahead and responded with 4 more of their own in the bottom of the first.
Hauser's first offering to him is a hard-hit ground ball back up the middle and into center field. Weimer charging it. Springer's around third. He's going to score. And the Blue Jays played a run of their own in the bottom of the first. It's a 2-1 ball game.
The Jays would take the lead in the first inning, and they would never look back, shutting the Brewers' offense down and defeating Milwaukee Tuesday night by a final score of 7-2. Adrian Hauser got the start for the Brewers. Not his best game, going 4 1/3 innings while surrendering 6 earned runs.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, I thought the first inning he struggled with. He struggled with his fastball a little bit in the first inning. Didn't really have a curveball tonight. You know, he saw a lot of bounce off-speed pitches. Got his fastball going as the game went on. I thought he made some good pitches with the fastball and did a good job. But you know, like I said, when they put 4 on you in the first inning, any 4-run inning in a 9-inning game is going to be tough to come on.
The Brewers have now lost 4 of their last 5 games and will look to bounce back tonight in Toronto. That first pitch is set for 6:07. Over to the ice, where the Milwaukee Admirals are in the midst of a rememberable playoff run. John Greenberg, the president of the Ads, says there is no better place to be than Milwaukee following a couple of long road trips.
Oh, my goodness. It felt like we had been gone for a year. The last home game was on May 13th, so a 16-day break from playing in front of our own fans, and you could definitely tell the difference with our guys. We played a great game on Monday night, and the energy and the enthusiasm with our fans in the building really helped a ton, so it's great to be home.
The Admirals don't play at home until Thursday after winning Game 3 on Monday night. The question, why wait 3 days in between Games 3 and 4 in Milwaukee?
Yeah, a couple of graduation days in the Panther Arena on Tuesday and Wednesday, and so we will get back at it on Thursday, play Game 4, and then since we won on Monday, it opened up Game 5. So that is on Saturday night at 6 o'clock.
The puck will drop Thursday night at the Panther Arena between Milwaukee and Coachella Valley. The Ads are down currently 2-1.
I always said, we'd like to have scheduled games at different times. We had graduation and stuff.
That was funny. Yeah. That's not
arena.
the answer I was expecting to hear,
Yes.
but he's got a point.
It's the People's Arena. Coming up.
We fixed the damn roads.
And apparently he's doing it himself. 5:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:30 for Matzik's Morning Minute. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds.
One pitch, Weimer drives one deep into left center field. Forget about it. 1-0 Milwaukee.
Mondays and Fridays at 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We are so excited and honored. Host the draft in 2025. It's a huge event. It's going to be spectacular.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
A wiser way to build your wealth.
A wiser way to build your wealth starts with choosing a financial planning firm that is fee only, because it means they work for you. Fee-only firms like Financial Strategies, Inc. don't work for a bank or brokerage firm or an insurance company or mutual fund company, because we don't want our decisions for your best interest compromised in any way. We work for you, and only in your best interest. And fee-only means the success we care about most is yours. Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee-only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm. And I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Hey WTMJs, John Mercure here. One of my very favorite parts of our great Wisconsin summer is the EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. I grew up making memories at AirVenture every year. The air shows, the planes, the people, the food, the fun, stuff for kids, stuff for adults, all the excitement. This year, the EAA Magic is from July 24th to July 30th. Get your tickets now at EAA.org. Create new memories for your family this summer. Join me at EAA. Check it out, EAA.org.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options at their June 1st open house. To RSVP or to schedule a tour, visit harwoodplace.org.
Checking into the roads here at 20 minutes after 5. What do you see, Deb?
Well, not looking at too much at all. We've got a lot of pavement and not that many cars on it. Everything's rolling along just fine and no incidents either. I'm Debbie Lazico with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Here's your storm team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson today. We've got warm and humid under sunny skies, chance of a pop-up afternoon rain or storm, and a high of 84 at the lake, 88 inland. Partly cloudy tonight, low down to 61. For Thursday, more of the same. Warm, humid, and sunny. Chance again for rain or perhaps a quick storm in the afternoon, high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Friday, again, more of the same. Warm, humid, sunny. Chance for some afternoon rain. High of 80 degrees at the lake, 88 inland. Saturday, mostly sunny and warm. 86 degrees your high, cooler near the lake. And Sunday looks mostly sunny with an 85-degree high temperature inland, 77 at Lake Michigan right now at 64 degrees. So if you drove by the pothole repair operation in Brown Deer area, Brown Deer Road yesterday, you may have taken notice of a particularly senior member of the road repair crew. Typically, you would expect the hardworking men and women out there doing road repair. They got shovels, they got the asphalt mix. It's hard work. It's physically demanding labor. You would expect them to be on the younger end of the spectrum, but this road crew, again, about 51st and Brown Deer, yesterday morning had a guy past retirement age scooping that hot mix onto the roadbed. 71 years old, this guy is.
We fixed the damn roads. We've
been what? Remember that? That was Governor Tony Evers in the waning days of the last campaign, just before the November vote, and asked about, I just sensed some exasperation in his answer to whatever question he was posed about. Well, make your case for, we've been campaigning for months, I've been governor for 4 years, we did this, we fixed the damn roads. That's our governor. Governor Tony Evers this morning will continue his statewide pothole patrol tour, which indeed landed in our area yesterday.
We fixed the damn roads.
So there's Governor Evers. He had shovel in there, everything. He was into it, filling potholes with the highway crew out there. Today he's going to be doing the same. He is scheduled to be in western Wisconsin, so Eau Claire and La Crosse areas, Chippewa Falls specifically, at noon. Onalaska, just outside of La Crosse at 1:45. So the governor is doing this, of course, not so much because he's a great road fixer, but he is touting the infrastructure investments that he pledged in his state budget. some of which will ultimately make it into the state budget, some of which will not, as Republicans in the state legislature continue to tweak that, or, as they said, basically started from scratch. Nonetheless, there will be infrastructure investment, but the governor really trying to promote the fact that he's been out there promoting this and wanting to invest in our state's roads and our highways, but also on the local level where we feel it, banging around through potholed streets. So how hard is the governor actually working in terms of the photo op? So do the math on this one. It's an hour-and-a-half drive from Chippewa Falls to Onalaska. He's got dueling media events today that are less than 2 hours apart. So pretty much he's not going to be filling a lot of potholes up there in the Eau Claire area in Chippewa Falls today. He'll be out there, take a couple of scoops. I did see him in some video. Rhinelander had him up there yesterday as well. So we went from Milwaukee to Rhinelander, or Milwaukee area. He's up there not only with the shovel, Eric, but he had one of those, they call it like a tamper.
Oh, very nice.
That's like the large pole or stick, right?
Doom, doom, doom.
It's got the flat surface on the bottom. They're usually pretty heavy. I've used it in some landscaping.
Yeah, you got to help. Got to make it easy for the cars to roll over there. You don't want any bumps.
Yeah, you got to tamp that down. Make sure that hot mix is in there good. Mm-hmm. You don't want that popping right back out on you. That's not really a repair. So he was doing it, just maybe not for that long.
Speaking of that, by the way, the DOT yesterday, they do this every year too when it gets warm. Hey, heads up, some Buckley pavement.
How about that?
So heads up, we might see some pavement flying, popping, if you will.
It's warm. We got temperatures pushing 90 today if you're away from the lake. So inland quite a bit. Although lakeside it's pretty warm as well. 84 degrees for your lakeside high today was in the storm team forecast. So that's not one of those northeast breezes where you're like, I had this all the time growing up in Wauwatosa. My grandparents all lived on the south side, both sets of my grandparents. So you'd be in Tosa wearing shorts and good to go. And, hey, we're going to go visit Grandma and Grandpa. Okay, great. Get down by the...
It's freezing.
Get over through Bayview and that, and you're like, oh, what happened? Totally different climate. But anyway, if you're out there in western Wisconsin today, Chippewa Falls and Onalaska, you might see the governor working the road crew.
We fixed the damn roads.
And still fixing them. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed off about 51 points yesterday to 33,043. The NASDAQ in positive territory. That climbed 42 points to 13,017. And the S&P 500, not much movement there, less than a point to 4206. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Get help now. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
When you need electrical service, choose the company other companies call. Current Electric has been energizing and illuminating lives in the southeastern Wisconsin area since 1983. They have earned the trust of businesses like Bauer Sign and Lighting, Midas, and Take 5 Car Wash. With 40 years of 5-star service under their belt, they are sure they can earn your trust too. Whether you need residential or commercial work completed or are interested in solar or generators, call the superheroes at Current Electric. Visit callcurrent.com.
The year is almost half over and you are still dealing with that knee or hip pain, right? Enough is enough. Pills are not the answer and neither is surgery. You need to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you a life without chronic joint pain. You can do all those summer activities you used to enjoy. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and applying them right to your achy joints so your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. The treatment is revolutionary, and it's right here in Milwaukee. Patients across America are having life-changing results, and there's no drugs or surgery or downtime. If you have pain in your knees, back, shoulders, hips, you got to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
So, I have a question for all you guys out there. Why is it that I see you hauling all kinds of stuff in your trucks? Lumber, ATVs, furniture, and everything is strapped down tight. Except you. I mean, come on, fellas. You're just as important as your buddy's blue plaid sofa. Buckle up.
Pickups rock. They also roll. Buckle up in your truck and arrive alive. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Weniger Compressor, putting the I Can in American. This is the Free Beer Quartet.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Coming up on 5:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, firefighters battling flames in West Dallas.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A major and dire warning from the tech execs.
I'm Brandon Snide. Giannis makes his voice be heard in the Bucks' next head coach.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Everything's looking great out on the roads. Not seeing any incidents or any delays for that matter. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Warm and humid under sunshine today with a chance of a pop-up afternoon rain shower or thunderstorm, and a high of 84 degrees at the lake, 88 inland, partly cloudy tonight with a low down to 61. Our current temp in Milwaukee at 64 degrees.
House lawmakers expected to vote later today on the debt limit deal brokered by President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. In Washington, ABC's Justin Finch.
The debt ceiling compromise eked through the House Rules Committee with a 7-6 vote, with 2 Republicans and all 4 Democrats voting no. The bill's next test expected tonight. The bill needs 218 votes to pass, so look for the White House and congressional Republican leaders alike to continue whipping up votes until the last minute.
North Korea had hoped to put the country's first spy satellite into space. It launched, but it failed. South Korea and Japan briefly urging people to take shelter during the launch, but no one was hurt when the rocket fell into the sea. 2 tenants still unaccounted for in that partially collapsed building in Davenport, Iowa. They were going to tear it down completely yesterday, but now they have decided to wait. Testimony getting underway today in Robert Bauer's trial in Pittsburgh. He's accused of shooting and killing 11 people in that synagogue in 2018. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, we do have breaking news this morning as crews are on scene of a fire in West Dallas. You can see it from the freeway if you're driving in that area. It's Woolmer and Wildwood, right near Highway 100. Appears to be an apartment building that's on fire. Still working to get more information about that building itself. Firefighters trying to control that blaze using hoses to knock down the flames.
Milwaukee police continue to search for the driver and their vehicle used in a hit and run on the east side on Brady Street. Left one man in critical condition.
The crash happened just after 2 a.m. Monday morning near Brady and Arlington. A Brady Street regular named Quincy sent to the hospital after the crash. A GoFundMe set up on his behalf saying he broke both his legs and is being treated for internal bleeding. Alderman Jonathan Brostoff, who represents the district which contains Brady Street, has continued to call for it to be closed off to cars. But retired Brady Street business owner Felix Glorioso tells WTMJ there are other options.
I think if you have 2 more stops between Oakland Avenue and Van Buren, that would help slow traffic down.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin Republicans have eliminated from more than $60 million in a proposal to cut down on reckless driving from the budget proposed by Governor Tony Evers. They say they have their own plan for tackling that issue. Governor Evers says he thinks this shouldn't have been a problem.
None of them are just huge, expensive items in the budget as compared to a lot of other things. Things that are taken out of the budget can be put back in, and that's a priority for us to have safe roads.
Now, Now, one of the provisions that was eliminated was for traffic calming measures. Republicans, again, say they've got their own ideas about how that money should be spent. Portions of the budget start going up for vote as early as Thursday, and the whole thing needs to be passed and signed by July 1st.
Greenfield High School teacher has resigned after an investigation discovered he had improper relationships with an 18-year-old student. The district confirming the resignation in a letter sent home to parents this week. The teacher placed on administrative leave earlier this month pending the investigation. Greenfield police say there's no evidence of a crime and that charges will not be filed.
Milwaukee Common Council set to approve new regulations for food trucks in the city on Wednesday. Ordinance sponsored by Alderman Jocasta Zamaripa and Jonathan Brostoff would create a zone where trucks are limited to 6 hours in one spot and set 1 a.m. as the curfew. It would also create a second zone that limits the amount of food trucks that can gather at specific places, with the goal being to reduce litter and disruption from trucks.
A dire warning from leaders and experts of tech companies. The risk from artificial intelligence could lead now to this warning that the humanity is at risk. In a letter signed by chief executives for the company that created ChatGPT, as well as from Google and from Microsoft, the Center for AI Safety, calling for an immediate pause on all work on artificial intelligence systems for at least 6 months. They want this pause in order to take stock of all the risks. This letter is urging governments to step in the case of anyone who is unwilling to stop. It also warns that labs locked in an out-of-control race will create increasingly powerful systems that no one can control.
If you want another dire prediction, looks like allergy season is going to be a doozy. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Why are you dressed like George Washington? I thought we were going colonial today.
No, we're talking about the colonial bedroom today.
The Colonial Collection at Penny Mustard is so versatile. It can be dressed up for a grand formal look, like me.
Or dressed down for a cozy, simple feel.
It also features hidden compartments to store your wooden teeth. The Colonial Bedroom Collection, starting at just $168 a month, with only 1 penny down and no interest until May of 2027, through June 4th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Back by popular demand, head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products. Don't miss this chance to shop over 4,000 items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, outerwear, hats, gloves, leather jackets, and so much more. While supplies last, the HD Factory Outlet at the Harley-Davidson Museum is your destination for discontinued HD merchandise.
You know you should be saving your hard-earned money in a safe place, but there's a difference between just letting it sit there and watching it grow. With Town Bank's great new rates on savings accounts, you can start earning more than ever before. Make the switch today and get more interest and their award-winning customer service. But act fast, these great new rates won't be here for long. Learn how much your money can grow at townbank.us. Banking products provided by Winters Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Spas! The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only to the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% off retail. This weekend only at the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:37.
In the room where it happens, Brandon Snide has more on Giannis' role in the Bucks' selection of a new head coach. Sports at 5:45.
And again, we're following breaking news from West Allis. Fire crews actively fighting a fire right now, and this is at an apartment near Walmer and Wildwood. So it's near Highway 100 there in West Allis. It appears to be an apartment building there. We've seen flames in some of the footage we're getting back from TMJ4 News, so we are gathering information about this. We'll get you more details as it becomes available on this fire in West Dallas.
Sniffling, sneezing, scratchy eyes. It's happening. Allergy season in Wisconsin upon us. A lot of tree pollen in the air, bringing puffy eyes and runny noses. President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. John Raymond, telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News there are some things you can do to work on those symptoms.
Simple things like keeping the windows closed, turning your air conditioning on,
not hanging clothes out to line dry, because then you're bringing the allergen into the house, taking your clothes off, and maybe not bringing your shoes in the house when you've been out exposed to the pollens help.
Dr. Raymond says we're not quite at peak for allergies, and that next month we'll be seeing more grass pollen causing those sniffles.
Former President Jimmy Carter, now the longest living U.S. president. According to the Carter Center, he will remain under hospice care at home, but his family says he's doing all right. He's looking very likely that he'll make it to see his next birthday in October with his wife by his side. Meanwhile, ABC's Steve Osunsami has an update on the health of Mrs. Carter.
She was still in the White House more than 40 years ago when she was trying to get the world to think of mental health issues like any other disease. She's continuing that work with news of her own, that the former First Lady, Rosalind Carter, has dementia. In a statement, the Carter Center says she continues to live happily at home with her husband, enjoying spring.
Coming up next on Wisconsin's Morning News, you heard a little bit in the top of the hour news or bottom of the hour newscast here. Felix Glorioso of the Gloriosos, whom you know on Brady Street, in a unique position to comment on what he thinks should happen on that street to improve pedestrian safety. We'll get to that next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Would you trust a part-time dentist? Then why would you trust a part-time fiduciary? Some financial professionals say they're a fiduciary, and they are, part-time. The other portion of the time they're interacting with you, they might be serving other interests. Do yourself a favor. Ask your financial professional if they're a fiduciary all the time. Annex Wealth Management is. Drill down into your finances with the full-time fiduciary team at Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
What's your favorite number?
48, because you can get 48 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic at Hasselus Mattress.
The number 48 is associated with abundance and stability.
Like the abundant stability and comfort of Tempur-Pedic.
Prosperity and wealth.
Like a $300 MasterCard Rewards gift card with your Tempur-Pedic purchase.
I think 48 may be my favorite number too.
Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Traffic is brought to you by the senior real estate specialists at brucesteam.com, with you every step of the way. From downsizing to selling the long-time home, the senior real estate specialists at Bruce's team are with you every step of the way. 262-242-6177.
Checking in with Debbie here at 20 to 6. What's happening on the roads?
Not much. We've got a pretty light ride across the entire area, not seeing too many incidents that are going to slow you down too much on the road. Full freeway speed's kind of a ride right now. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: warm, humid, and sunny. Chance for an afternoon pop-up shower, clap of thunder. Highs in the mid-80s at the lakefront, upper 80s farther inland. We'll hold on to a few clouds overnight, lows dipping back into the lower 60s. A copy and paste forecast for Thursday and Friday. Highs in the low 80s at the lakefront, mid and upper 80s inland with a chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. Mostly sunny and warm for Saturday with highs in the upper 70s to mid-80s, and more sunshine for Sunday with highs near 80 at the lakefront, mid-80s farther to the west. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
64 degrees in Milwaukee. 541 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Eric, I was really moved by the interview that you did with Felix Glorioso. I actually spoke with him a little bit yesterday before you had a chance to talk with him and get his take on what's happening on Brady Street. We had a pedestrian who was critically injured on Brady Street in a hit and run over the weekend. And it's renewed conversations about whether or not we should make Brady Street basically a pedestrian mall like what you have at State Street in Madison. And Glorioso's is a place that's culturally close to my heart. My dad grew up just doors down there, right near Wolski's. Of course, as you know, the Italian side of our family visited there whenever we made the family sauce. It was a trip from Tosa over to Brady Street to get the various principles, the meat and whatnot. So, but he is in a very, and sadly, very unique position to comment on what he thinks should happen there.
So here you have a retired business owner, Glorioso's, of course, Glorioso's Italian Market, whose mother nearly 20 years ago now, Mary Glorioso, was killed walking on Brady Street, right in that area. So, yeah, he sees this from a couple of different perspectives.
I mean, you got 5 straight blocks where somebody can speed up intentionally or unintentionally and hurt somebody. My mom was hit during the morning hours, It was about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday before Mother's Day.
Yeah, just hit and kill 9:30 in the morning. Now, they also have some clientele that go there. Some are elderly. Some live in some of those senior centers in that stretch, so they care about their community, of course. They're Gloriosos, and what Felix doesn't want is that pedestrian mall.
He doesn't want to shut it down to
He doesn't
vehicle
think
traffic.
that's a good idea. However, he did have plenty of thoughts, and these are different things that he even brought up with the city engineer after his mother was killed years and years ago.
I would like to think that they would do better job of lighting the street so pedestrians are more visible, especially at night. I would like to see 2 stop-and-go lights, one down on like Brady and Arlington and one at Astor Street and Brady. That would help slow down things a bit, because then there's another stoplight at Humboldt and Brady. So that would slow things down. I think those chevrons or a couple speed bumps here or there might be a big help, even though at that time they were worried about the snow plows. But I've seen speed bumps on other busy streets in Milwaukee, and the snowplows seem to know that they have to slow down to go over them.
Yeah, there are ways to mark them and to manage and manipulate around them if you need to as a snowplow driver. So perhaps speed bumps, chevrons, stop-and-go lights, all something that Glorioso is pushing for.
Well, and the important thing to note is he sees this, yes, as from the perspective of someone who lost someone, tragically his own mother, but also as a business owner. Yeah. He knows it's important for vehicles to have access to that business for it to survive. So interesting to hear his thoughts on that. 544, Brandon Snide with Sports Next.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow, harvested from your body and then placed back into your body, get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, it's not an option. At Rejuvenix, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. With some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Off Mosquito Repellent, a clean feel so you can accessorize without mosquitoes. You can wear classic whites and jeans and know what you're covered with 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. S.C. Johnson.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Brewers were back on the diamond Tuesday night and allowed 14 hits to Toronto as the Blue Jays go on to defeat Milwaukee. This one by a final score of 7-2.
Pitch to Biggio, ground ball. That one past the dive of the second baseman Miller and into right center. It's a base hit for Biggio. Merrifield scores run number 7.
Josh Maurer on the call right here on WTMJ as the Jays plate 7 runs and send the crew home with their 26th loss of the season. The Brewers currently at 28-26. They have now lost 4 of their last 5 games and will look to bounce back tonight against Toronto. First pitch is set for 6:07. Julio Teheran is expected to get the start for the Brewers. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks are staying busy as they look ahead to next season. The team has set out to hire former Bucks assistant Adrian Griffin, who will replace Mike Budenholzer. According to NBA insider Shams Charania, it was quite the process for the Bucks, who sought out advice from their 2-time MVP.
They went through a finalist process of Nick Nurse, Adrian Griffin, Kenny Atkinson, and interestingly, they all met one-on-one with Giannis before any hiring was made. And then ownership, Giannis, John Horst, their general manager in Milwaukee, they all huddled up afterward to figure out exactly who the coach would be.
The NBA Finals will begin Thursday night in Denver with the Nuggets hosting the Miami Heat. Miami, just the second number 8 seed to reach the NBA Finals. Lastly, over to the ice, the Milwaukee Admirals are embarking on quite the Calder Cup playoff run after the 2 previous playoff series were 5 games. President John Greenberg is thankful this one is 7 games against Coachella Valley.
You know what? When you're down 2-0, it's the world.
you're not playing for your life in Game 3. You're playing just to find a way to get back into the series.
The Admirals are currently down 2-1 after winning Game 3, but nonetheless, being on the home ice can make all the difference for the Admirals.
Oh, my goodness. It felt like we had been gone for a year. The last home game was on May 13th, so a 16-day break from playing in front of our own fans, and you could definitely tell the difference with our guys. We played a great game on Monday night, and the energy and the enthusiasm with our fans in the building really helped a ton. So it's great to be home.
Game 4 will begin at 7 p.m. on Thursday night between Milwaukee and Coachella Valley.
Yeah, and we know there's a Game 5 for sure. Hopefully the Admirals win at least one of these.
They're going to get Game 4.
Yeah, you like them?
Saturday will be a party.
And Saturday a party.
Saturday will be the party.
And then back on the road to try to seal the deal. 5:48 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up, did you hear about the toxic workplace allegations for Kelly Clarkson's TV show? Everybody involved said Kelly didn't know. How's that possible? That story next.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we offer full-service, comprehensive wealth management services through our in-house team of wealth managers, accountants, and attorneys to integrate all aspects of your financial life. Get all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving, the local family-owned company you can trust for your concrete and asphalt paving project of any size. Eric and I were just talking this morning in the news about the governor's pothole patrol. It is a real problem across Wisconsin. Not just talking about the roads. How about for the parking lot of your business? How's it looking? Look like a moonscape? It's not the first impression you want to give to your valued customers. Same thing for your home driveway or your patio. Fix it up or rebuild the whole thing with Johnson & Sons Paving. They do everything in-house. They will help you design your project. They even mix their own asphalt, so there are no supply chain issues. You'll get your product out and have your project completed on time. They're proud of the work they do over there. The family name is right there on the company. You got a lot of Johnsons over there, but no subcontractors. When you hire Johnson & Sons, you get them every step of the way. A one-stop shop for projects of any size. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach. One who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at ACCUNET.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Been a smooth ride so far. Let's keep it that way, Debbie.
Yep. So far, so good. Not seeing any incidents out there. Delays are pretty much minimal if there are any at all. Just heads up with that fire in West Allis. You want to be extra careful driving around that area. There may be some closed roads for that, so just keep that in mind. It's just south of Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. For the next 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have warm and humid conditions and sunny skies each day with a chance for a pop-up afternoon rain or thunderstorm. High temperatures in the mid to upper 80s inland and close to the low 80s near Lake Michigan. For Saturday, mostly sunny and warm. 86 degrees your inland high, 78 at the lake. 77 at the lake on Sunday under mostly sunny skies. 85 degrees your high inland. Right now, 64 in Milwaukee. Scandal at the Kelly Clarkson Show. as they get set to move their operation to New York. I think they're on the West Coast. I think they're out of L.A. right now, but they're moving the whole deal. Instructive as we focus often on workplace and employment issues on the show. And can the boss, or if not the boss, one of the top leaders in the company or an organization, be clueless as to the environment around them and in their operations? And the answer here, seems other places as well, is absolutely yes. Give it up for the band, y'all. Rolling Stone a couple weeks ago broke the story. People who work on the show calling it a toxic work environment. This from Entertainment Tonight.
One current and 10 former employees of the show opened up to Rolling Stone about the alleged conditions, claiming they were overworked, underpaid, and their time at the show was traumatizing to their mental health. One former employee says NBC, the network that airs the daytime talk show, is protecting the show because it's their new moneymaker. But Kelly has no clue how unhappy her staff is.
Kelly has no clue how unhappy her staff is. How can that be?
She just comes in, does her job, and leaves. Come on.
So it's a little bit different, right, than your boss, because she is a leader on that show and certainly obviously has a say in how the show comes together or whatever, but she's also like the quote-unquote talent.
Yeah.
So it sounds like she was sort of protected. The people under her, like, didn't want to bother Kelly with this or whatever. And meanwhile, they're cracking the whip, on the staff and protecting her from that. So she's to the point of she comes in, she does her thing. As far as she knows, everybody's good.
And not defending her, but she could even be ignorant to it, too, and just not even know any better.
Exactly what appears to have happened. I can't find anybody who's saying, oh, yeah, Kelly was in on this. Like, all of her people who were cited in the article have been close to saying to this effect, no, she's really nice. She's respectful to everybody. This is happening without her knowledge. But that still begs the question of how that can be. I won't spend too much more time here on Kelly.
Welcome to the Kelly Clarkson Show. This is my first show. I'm so excited.
Just wanted that one, too. Briefly, she didn't know. Everyone says she didn't know. So how can that be? Well, I turn to our expert on these things, Mike Grubich. He's president of LAK Group, one of our partners here at WTMJ. LAK is a business consulting firm. And Grubich tells us this sort of thing is not as rare as it should be.
The last people to know when things aren't going good culturally are the leaders, right? Everyone else knows way before that. They experience it, they talk about it, so on and so forth, but leaders are the last to know. And unfortunately, sometimes when they know, it's too late. It's not recoverable, and it's when someone's leaving.
Not recoverable. More on that comment in a moment, but back to what he's saying, really, oftentimes because they're sort of, as you said, Eric, ignorant or isolated from the real conversation that's playing out in the office or wherever. They're not paying close enough attention. Leaders in workplaces truly aren't aware of the culture and environment in their own workplaces. That's not an excuse because they should be. It's not going to happen through a series of meetings or calendar invites. Here's Grubich again from LAK Group.
I honestly, I think the most value added is when it's organic. If it's too prescribed, it almost becomes a check the box. If you're having conversations, you're engaging, you're asking questions. Phrase we use a lot is, as a leader, don't go into a situation to try to be interesting. Go in, try to be interested. When you do that and take that approach, people start to talk to you. They follow you and they're engaged.
Okay, so how about for you? You're at a company you like, you're doing a job that you like, but things are starting to get ugly for you. You're frustrated at work or that environment is starting to turn. I typically am a mind my own business type of employee. I try to lead by example. I work hard, I do my thing. Right? You do your thing, Eric.
Sure.
I'm not all up in your business about how you do what you do, right? I just don't like to lead that way. And it can be uncomfortable. Grubich says, though, it's important, if you're in that situation, to speak up to a manager when things are going sideways. And if you've got decent management, they would be glad that you did.
You need to bring it up or else it's never going to get fixed. And the thing that you should always have solace in is that if you're thinking of it or if you're seeing it, I pretty much can guarantee that you're one of many, not an only in that case. Take the lead on that and bring it up, but be constructive. How can I help? What can I do to help resolve this?
So that's Mike Grubich, president at local business consulting firm LAK Group. Yeah, that last part is important too. Go in and present as wanting to be part of the solution, not just whining and complaining. That'll definitely increase your chances that you're listened to. And here's the thing, it takes a long time to change the culture of an organization. I've actually talked with Grubich about that as well. LAK Group comes in, works with staff and leadership at companies who are trying to create change. He says it can be a 3 to 5 year process to turn things around in most cases. So didn't know, an explanation, not an excuse. And if it's bugging you where you work, take the lead and offer to help.
Welcome to the Kelly Clarkson Show. This is my first show. I'm so excited.
Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan.
EIS North America of Milwaukee said layoffs could start later this month as it decides to close the Fond du Lac plant of subsidiary company LK Interior Systems. Big B Coffee is coming to Pewaukee starting on June 20th with the opening of a new location on Watertown Road. Hales Corners developer Wimmer Communities this month bought about 7 acres along West Forest Home Avenue that could eventually be redeveloped. The site includes 2 office buildings, and it's sold for $3.5 million. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
If you need a new roof, Tri-County Contracting would be proud to put one on for you. But maybe a little work will make your current roof last. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. We've had a lot of snow and ice this winter. Get Tri-County Contracting on top of your house for a worry-free roof tune-up. One price, $650. Full inspection, replacement for damaged shingles, fresh caulking and sealing. It will extend the life of your roof and give you peace of mind. Call Tri-County Contracting for a worry-free roof tune-up today.
Wealth-changing question. Is your advisor giving you incomplete advice? Besides investing, there's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that can be stressful to organize. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house, ensuring every aspect of your wealth works harder together so you can enjoy your wealth instead of worrying about it. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Heard it work? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to TaybackAttorneys.com.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6:01, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, May 31st. Our top story, crews battling a large fire in West Allis.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The Wisconsin congressional delegation jockeys for position as the House prepares for a vote.
I'm Brandon Snide. The Brewers' offense goes cold north of the border.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. All is well out on the roads. Not seeing too many delays out there or incidents. Full freeway speeds. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Warm and humid today under sunny skies with a chance for a pop-up rain or thunderstorm this afternoon. High of 84 at the lake, 88 inland, partly cloudy tonight. Low temperature 61. Right now it's 64 already in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we have breaking news this morning. Crews remain on scene of a large fire in West Allis. It's near Wolmer and Wildwood. Is that east or west of Highway 100, Eric? Can you tell?
That is west.
So just west of the freeway. You can actually see smoke from the freeway. Appears to be an apartment building that's on fire. Still working to get more information about the structure itself. Firefighters actively working to control that blaze. They got hoses and they're in elevated positions knocking down that fire right now. We do not have word of any injuries.
The debt ceiling compromise agreed upon by President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy now goes to the House floor for a vote. It's expected this evening. CBS's Jared Hill.
The agreement suspends the nation's borrowing limit through early 2025 in exchange for things like cuts to IRS funding, tighter restrictions on food stamps, and energy permitting reform. But a growing number of House Republicans have threatened to vote no. arguing the bill doesn't go far enough to rein in federal spending.
Now, the Wisconsin congressional delegation mixed as of now on what to do with this debt deal vote. Congresswoman Gwendolyn Moore tells the Journal-Sentinel she is not happy with it. GOP Congressman Brian Stile and Derek Van Orden both have said they support the deal. As for Democrat Mark Pocan and Republican Tom Tiffany, as of Tuesday, the Journal-Sentinel says both were undecided. Glenn Grothman tells the paper he would have liked to see more provisions related to the southern border in the bill, and Congressman Mike Gallagher over the weekend had said there seems to be reasonable compromise.
Wisconsin's abortion ban looking at tweaks under a package of measures being proposed by state Republican lawmakers. One measure would clarify that medical procedures designed to save a pregnant woman's life don't qualify as abortion. Governor Tony Evers is expected to veto the measure if it reaches him. Another bill in the package would increase the tax exemption that parents can claim for each dependent from $700 to $1,000, and this is the key part, extend eligibility to parents of unborn children. Parents could claim the exemption as soon as an ultrasound detects a heartbeat in that unborn child.
Leaders of tech companies are warning that humanity is at risk from artificial intelligence. In a letter signed by chief executives for the company that created ChatGPT, as well as from Google and Microsoft, the Center for AI Safety calls for an immediate pause on all work on AI systems for at least 6 months in order to take stock of the risks. The letter urging governments across the world to step in case of anyone who's unwilling to stop for the pause. It also warns that labs locked in an out-of-control race would create increasingly powerful systems that no one would be able to predict or control. Dan Hendricks is with the Center for AI Safety.
We're in fact saying that it could end the human race. We're not talking about the current ChatGPT models or anything like that. We're talking about potential future versions of AI.
This is the latest in several high-profile warnings, including a letter signed by Elon Musk calling for a 6-month pause in AI development.
A longtime military man now leading a new fight.
Retired General Kelly McCaig is the head of the Defense POW MIA accounting agency. He tells WTMJ there's thousands of soldiers still to identify.
There are close to 81,000 that are still missing. That's an incredible number. And of that, we estimate 37,000 to be recoverable.
It was his organization that identified USS Oklahoma sailor David Riley, who was laid to rest in Wisconsin Memorial Day weekend.
The Riley family, who some family members never met the seaman. However, they know everything about Seaman Riley.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Coming up, anger in Davenport, citing unlimited. WTMJ News Time 6:05.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Omaha Steaks. Easier way to make your father happy? OmahaSteaks.com. Pick out a great gift for your father right now. $30 off when you visit OmahaSteaks.com and use promo code WTMJ at checkout. There's no shopping, no wrapping, and the steaks are delivered right to your dad's door. I've done this for my son-in-laws. I've done this for my fathers. Easy way to say thanks, Dad, for all the things you do for me. Dads are the heroes we love. You know this. Whether they're fathers, stepfathers, fathers-in-law, father figures, always ready to step up when we need them most. For Father's Day, we're listening to what real dads have to say. $30 off when you visit OmahaSteaks.com. Use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Some heroes wear capes, others use tool belts, some even wear socks with sandals. No matter how your dad dresses, show him some love this year with the only gift that's as unforgettable as he is. OmahaSteaks.com. $30 off when you visit OmahaSteaks.com. Use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Minimum order may be required.
While the warm weather has you feeling like new, get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield. Whether you're saving up for something big or just for a rainy day, Old National is here for you. Earn 5.00% APY with our limited time 12-month introductory money market offer. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 not on deposit at Old National as of April 14th, 2023. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Offer not available online. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. When it comes to memory care and assisted living, you want a team that knows compassion and empathy. That's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know, my grandma was in assisted living. I have an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, right now in memory care. At Azura, they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. 14 locations in Wisconsin, AzuraLiving.com, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. The teams I trust are at Azura. AzuraLiving.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only to the Wisconsin State Fair Green Park
Puff Pavilion. Rose and Rosewood Spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% off retail. This weekend only at the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:08.
Brewers absolutely blasted in Toronto. Brandon Snide looks ahead to their next matchup in the series. That's coming up in sports at 6:15.
New regulations for food trucks in Milwaukee set to be approved today by the Common Council. This ordinance would create a zone where the trucks are limited to 6 hours in one spot. There also would be a 1 a.m. curfew. It would also create a second zone that limits the amount of food trucks that can gather near places like Burnham Park, with the goal being to reduce litter and disruption from those trucks.
Bad story already. It seems to be getting worse as anger is growing at the site of a partial building collapse in Davenport, Iowa. Family members demanding to know why the city cleared the building for demolition already. 5 people remain unaccounted for, including 2 whom officials now say may still be inside. ABC's Rhiannon Ally.
Officials planned to bring down the building yesterday morning, saying search with dogs, drones, and thermal imaging showed no signs of life. But just before the demolition was set to begin, Lisa Brooks appeared at a 4th-floor window. Rescuers then pulled Brooks to safety more than 24 hours after the collapse.
I was just so afraid that I was going to die and don't see my kids, my grandkids.
Now, city officials are looking at how to safely conduct another search, as 5 tenants are still unaccounted for.
Target, Bud Light, the Los Angeles Dodgers, what do they all have in common? Well, they're huge companies and organizations that have pulled back following support for the LGBTQ community after public backlash. Now activists are saying new campaigns are needed.
Bud Light is still dealing with the fallout from its partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Target has faced backlash for Pride Month items it began selling and in some cases relocated their store displays.
We want to see them out in the forefront, standing up for their values.
Brian Bond is with PFLAG, an organization to advocate for LGBTQ people and their families.
No one wants to take a step backwards, but now is not the time to walk back. Now is when people want to see the conviction and values of our allies.
Nearly 500 anti-LGBTQ plus bills have been introduced in state legislatures around the country this year. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Coming up, the Scripps National Spelling Bee is on. We'll take a look at how one of our local contestants is progressing through the competition. That story next.
This report is sponsored by the Frederick Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
Providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin is more than a statistic. It means offering you more options. It means more hope. And having expertise for every type of cancer is more than a checklist. It's how we're able to create a personalized treatment plan to help conquer your individual cancer. Because at the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, people are the driving force behind providing the most advanced, most powerful cancer care available. Our clinical excellence has led to incredible breakthroughs, like using a person's own genes to successfully treat cancer. And by offering an adaptive therapy that combines an MRI scanner with leading-edge technology, we're able to deliver ultra-precise radiation therapy that adapts to your cancer's changes. We push further, learn more, and lead the way. That's how we do everything humanly possible for life without cancer. To find out how dedication fuels breakthrough cancer care, visit Frederick.com/cancer.
Enjoy music, fun, and kids' entertainment this Saturday, June 3rd at Sendik's Family Fun Day from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the corners of Brookfield. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening on the roads, Debbie?
Not much. We're looking at a pretty good ride for the most part across most of the freeway system. No major delays right now and no incidents. Now, off the freeway system is another story. We do have that fire in West Allis, just south of Oklahoma Avenue and west of the freeway, west of Highway 100. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be there for a while they get this whole thing taken care of. You want to be careful driving through there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: warm, humid, and sunny with a chance of an afternoon pop-up shower or clap of thunder. High temperatures in the mid-80s at the lakefront, upper 80s to near 90 degrees farther inland. We'll hold on to a few clouds overnight with lows dipping back into the lower 60s. It's a copy and paste forecast for Thursday and Friday. Chance of an afternoon pop-up shower with highs in the low 80s at the lakefront, mid and upper 80s farther inland. Mostly sunny and warm for Saturday with highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, mid-80s farther inland, and we'll look for more sunshine on Sunday with highs in the upper 70s to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Temp in Milwaukee right now, already 64 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
I am the worst speller in the United States of America. Just declaring that right here.
All right, so
if you're going to play your game here and to ask
right,
me, can I get this word? Is that what you were going to do?
Yep. All right.
The answer's
so
no.
The Scripps Spelling Bee is underway. Quarterfinals are this morning, and we have one Wisconsin contestant. It's a 7th grader from Madison. His name is Aiden. I apologize. I'm going to mispronounce his last name likely. It's Waija Kulasuria. So Aiden Waija, thank you. Waija Kulasuria from Madison. He spelled 2 words correctly yesterday, and he also gave the meaning of a word correctly. So the first word he spelled correctly was Bahurihi. Bahurihi.
That's not an
that
English
up.
word.
Yeah.
The history is Sanskrit.
Right. That's not an English word.
Bahurihi. Who are you mad at, me?
No, I'm mad at Scripps.
Anyone want to try to give it a shot?
Nope.
It's Bahuvrihi.
That's not an English.
So then the next
so
one,
he got that one.
And then he had to
God bless him.
Give the meaning of the word meridian. The meaning of the word meridian.
You have to do meanings now?
Mm-hmm.
That's not spelling.
What the, yeah.
And he gave a great circle of the celestial sphere passing through its poles and the zenith.
I was going to say somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, right?
The meridian.
It's more median than meridian, isn't
It's a line and it goes uppy-downy on the map.
Yeah.
And then the last one he had to spell was burpee.
Burpee. B-U-R-P-E-E. Burpee.
I knew that one.
Burpee.
Yay,
What is
I knew
the,
that one. That's the devil's exercise.
What's the origin of burpee? Mr. Penrod's gym class. Nah.
Is that an acceptable answer? All right, so he's through this first round.
So yeah,
what happens
he
to him?
comes back to quarterfinals this morning.
I'm feeling a lot more confident. I don't have a lot of expectations, but my goal was just because before last time I came here, I got through 3 rounds. So by getting through these 3 rounds, I'm proud of where I am, and whatever happens next, I'm okay with.
Yeah, so he came in 51st a couple of years ago. Now he's back there, quarterfinals. See if he can move on and get into the prime time tonight.
Let's go, Aiden.
Yes.
Brandon Snide has sports next.
This report is sponsored by Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
In the past 70 years, there's something that has never changed. The kitchen. Oh, it may look a little different as the decades have passed, but it's always been where family gathers for meals, memories, and more. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has always understood that and remains dedicated to making that important space special.
With an expansive 18,000 square foot showroom filled with full-size displays featuring Play-Doh custom cabinetry, award-winning designers, plus their own in-house installation department, let Wisconsin Kitchen Mart transform your kitchen into a true gathering place.
I'm Robert Iskey, Vice President and Designer from Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. We've been remodeling kitchens and baths since 1951 and can help establish a vision for your remodel. We bring the carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and everyone else needed to make your dream kitchen a reality.
Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. On the corner of West Wisconsin Avenue and 36th Street in Milwaukee. Online at wisconsinkitchenmart.com.
Cut through the clutter with Axiom, the weekly newsletter from Annex Wealth Management. Subscribe today for 7 insights built and delivered to you every Sunday. It'll help you navigate the markets and the things that affect your money. The Axiom. Sign up at annexwealth.com.
time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers were back at it last night, this time north of the border in Toronto. It started out good for Milwaukee after the Brewers scored 2 in the first inning. But then the Blue Jays responded with 4 more of their own in the bottom of the first.
Hauser's first offering to him is a hard-hit ground ball back up the middle and into center field. Weimer charging it. Springer's around third. He's going to score. And the Blue Jays played a run of their own in the bottom of the first. It's a 2-1 ball game.
The Jays would take the lead in the first inning and never look back, shutting the Brewers' offense down and defeated Milwaukee Tuesday night by a final score of 7-2. Adrian Hauser got the start, going 4 1/3 inning while surrendering 6 earned runs.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, I thought the first inning he struggled with. He struggled with his fastball a little bit in the first inning. Didn't really have a curveball tonight. You know, he saw a lot of bounce off-speed pitches. Got his fastball going as the game went on. I thought he made some good pitches with the fastball and did a good job. But you know, like I said, when they put 4 on you in the first inning, any 4-run inning in a 9-inning game is going to be tough to come on.
The Brewers have now lost 4 of their last 5 games and will look to bounce back tonight in Toronto. First pitch is set for 6:07. The Milwaukee Admirals are in the midst of a special playoff run. John Greenberg, the president of the Ads, says there's no better place to be than Milwaukee following a couple of long road trips.
Oh, my goodness. It felt like we had been gone for a year. The last home game was on May 13th, so a 16-day break from playing in front of our own fans, and you could definitely tell the difference with our guys. We played a great game on Monday night, and the energy and the enthusiasm with our fans in the building really helped a ton. So it's great to be home.
The Admirals don't play at home until Thursday after winning Game 3 in Milwaukee on Monday night. The question, though, why wait 3 days in between Games 3 and 4?
Yeah, a couple of graduation days in the Panther Arena on Tuesday and Wednesday, and so we will get back at it on Thursday, play Game 4, and then since we won on Monday, it opened up Game 5. So that is on Saturday night at 6 o'clock.
The puck will drop Thursday night at the Panther Arena between Milwaukee and Coachella Valley. The Ads are currently down 2-1.
Again, with the dire warnings about developing technology that may ultimately destroy us. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Stay in touch. You can reach us on the Old National Bank talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Old National Bank. Get old.
Hey there, it's Eric Bilstead with WTMJ's Wisconsin's Morning News. Do you know how to spell garage?
J-D.
It's spelled J.D. Griffiths. That's right. Thank you for reading my mind there. JDGriffiths.com is a website. They've been doing it for more than 70 years. J.D. Griffiths is Milwaukee's premier provider and builder of garage doors. I know the website because we used it. We went to JDGriffiths.com, my wife and I, because we were looking for something to upgrade the home with. And we knew it was time for some new garage doors, and we just got some beautiful ones on. They're just gorgeous out there. Now that it's warming up, it just looks great outside with these brand new garage doors, customly built and installed and looking phenomenal. JD Griffiths is the store. JDGriffiths.com is the website. And by the way, JD Griffiths, they don't just do new garage doors. They also are your local custom detached garage builder, and they are very affordable when it comes to servicing the existing doors that you already have. So if you're concerned about something, if you're dealing with a squeak, if something just isn't working with your operator or your opener, just go to jdgriffiths.com and you will get that free at-home estimate, and away you will go. JD Griffiths and jdgriffiths.com. Schedule your free at-home estimate today.
Your first time biking to work. Your new helmet? Secure. Your bike? Road ready. You got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So even if down the road that bike needs a little maintenance, at least your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business? Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent. SmartSpacesWI.com.
Checking into the roads here at 622. Debbie.
All right, looking pretty good right now. The only issue is a broken down vehicle northbound 94 just before Ryan Road. It is off on the left shoulder. They're right up against the median wall there. So you do want to be extra careful. Give them a wide berth as you come around that curve there to try and help them out there. But at the moment, everything else is looking just stellar. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Same forecast for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. Warm and humid each day under sunny skies. Chance each afternoon for some rain or possibly a quick pop-up storm. High temperatures in the mid to upper 80s inland, low to mid 80s near Lake Michigan. Right now it's 64 in Milwaukee.
Hello, Hal, do you read me? Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
It's not a real voice. This box just interprets signals from the computer and turns them into sound.
Shall we play a game?
Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
Another warning this morning from the very people developing advanced technology that they can't stop, cannot slow down, and cannot save us from themselves.
If my intelligence is artificial, then why am I smarter than you?
Yes, let's get it going. Top executives in the field of artificial intelligence signing on to a statement from the nonprofit Center for AI Safety suggesting societal disruptions and worse are in the fore if research and development of AI is not throttled down. ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan live with us from Dallas this morning. Jim, let's start with what is in this statement. What are these dire warnings from tech developers?
Well, they're not very specific, and the statement is only 22 words, Vince. Mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks, such as pandemics and nuclear war. That's the whole statement. Then it's signed by a long list of researchers, of college professors, people involved in artificial intelligence development, and some of those who are involved in putting the stuff on the market, including Elon Musk and the co-founder of Apple. So it's not just something that it's sort of back there in the realm of Chicken Little or Luddites who are concerned about this. These are people who are actually involved in developing this stuff, Vince.
Right. Well, and Jim, here's what's interesting to me is that we've heard these guys banging the pots and pans now for several months. Mm-hmm. But why am I no more confident that anything is going to get done about it?
Well, I don't know if you should be, because, here we are several months later. Remember, there was a call from about 1,000 scientists saying that this stuff needs to be slowed down. The development should be halted, at least for now, until it can be studied. Well, it's continued, the development, the marketing, the selling of this stuff out on the market as goes on, just as it did before. And I think that they're dealing again with two different forces here. First, the forces of technology and research and development, but then the forces of competition, right? So you've got all these companies. ChatGPT is involved in this. Apple is working on this. Google. And they're all working against each other to come up with the best and the fastest artificial intelligence. And yet now they have to sit down in a room, set competition aside, and try to work on ways to save humanity. It's a tall order.
Talking with ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan from Dallas this morning about this most recent statement about the dire consequences of AI developing unchecked. Jim, Eric and I talk about this a lot, and I'm searching for some precedent in human history where we've actually been able to throttle back technological development. Like, it just seems like we're not capable of that. If we can imagine it, if we can do it, we can't help but continue to research it.
Well, right. I guess nuclear weapons would be a good example of that. But, as tense as the Cold War was, the Cuban Missile Crisis and all that, at least nobody set off a nuclear bomb, right, since World War II. So, I think in that case, if there's a comparison to be made, the U.S. and the Soviet Union, eventually China, all sat down in a room and said, it's mutually assured destruction if somebody sets something off. It might look something like that in the world of artificial intelligence and the companies that are working on those things.
Jim Ryan from ABC News. Always good to talk to you, Jim.
See you guys.
I imagine we'll be discussing this again.
Jeez. We need a 6-month pause. Let's see if that happens.
But we can't.
They're all calling for it.
So you would have a public pause, but then quietly all of these organizations will still continue
be
their
tinkering,
thing.
yeah.
Right, exactly, because they think, well, we think we shouldn't do it, but I don't trust that you're going to abide by it, so we're going to still do our thing.
Right.
We're on a collision course. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was off nearly 51 points, or just under 51 points, to 33,043. The NASDAQ closed up 42 to 13,017. And in trading on Tuesday, no movement really in the S&P 500. That closed at 4206. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Get help now. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Hey Vince, aren't you supposed to be in this meeting?
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV-stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit bytheyard.net. That's bytheyard.net.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their new patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside, no drafts. It's a game changer.
Get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and have everything installed in as little as a day. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
Just ahead of 6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story on Wisconsin's Morning News. Crews still on scene battling a large fire in West Dallas.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A dire warning from tech execs.
I'm Brandon Snide. A losing trend continues for Craig's crew in Toronto.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Looks like they are taking care of this disabled vehicle on northbound 94 right before Ryan Road. It was off on the left shoulder, kind of in a weird spot, so as you're coming around that curve, you might see it. It's up against the median wall. Other than that, everything else is looking pretty great. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Pretty great storm team forecast today. Warm and humid under sunny skies with a chance this afternoon of a pop-up rain or thunder shower. High of 84 at the lake, 88 inland.
The debt ceiling deal to be voted on today by the full House, or at least that's the plan anyway. ABC's Rachel Scott on Capitol Hill with more on one provision in the package, expanded work requirements for people in their early 50s on food stamps.
Even though more Americans would be eligible for food assistance, thousands more could be kicked off if they do not meet those new work requirements, and that's a major red flag for House progressives. President Biden has been personally working the phones, and later this morning, senior administration officials will be here on Capitol Hill trying to address any last-minute concerns.
Some conservatives say they don't feel the bill goes far enough to slash the budget. The UN has banned North Korea from conducting any experiments based on ballistic technology, but that didn't stop Kim Jong-un from trying to launch a spy satellite into orbit. The launch failed. 2 people believed to have been in that collapsed building in Davenport, Iowa, are still unaccounted for. Officials there did hold off on demolishing the building this week. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Starting Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, still on top of this breaking news story out of West Dallas, where fire crews are on the scene. It's a very smoky and steamy fire right now. In fact, you can see it from the freeway. Location is Wolmer and Wildwood. That's just west of Highway 100, and it appears to be an apartment building that's on fire. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo is there.
You could see the flames from the highway as we drove in, so the smoke is clearly traveling for miles in the air right now. It's incredibly bitter and arid. I have asthma and I'm having trouble not coughing because of how thick this smoke is. That there are not only plenty of fire trucks, but also utilities. We Energies is here. I've seen 4 different investigators kind of go in to try to figure out what's going on. They've got this area blocked off.
Now, right now, we have no word of any injuries.
Milwaukee police continue to search for the driver of a hit and run on Brady Street that left a man in critical condition.
The crash happened just after 2 a.m. Monday morning near Brady and Arlington. A Brady Street regular named Quincy sent to the hospital after the crash. A GoFundMe set up on his behalf saying he broke both his legs and is being treated for internal bleeding. Alderman Jonathan Brostoff, who represents the district which contains Brady Street, has continued to call for it to be closed off to cars. But retired Brady Street business owner Felix Glorioso tells WTMJ there are other options.
I think if you have 2 more stops between Oakland Avenue and Van Buren, that would help slow traffic down.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Now, police have released a photo of the silver Jeep Patriot with damage to the front end of the hood that they believe was involved in this. You can see the photo of that online at WTMJ.com right now or on our WTMJ mobile app.
At 6:33, a Greenfield High School teacher resigned. There was an investigation that discovered he had an improper relationship with an 18-year-old student. District confirmed the resignation in a letter sent home to parents this week. The teacher was placed on administrative leave earlier this month pending the investigation. Greenfield police say there is no evidence of a crime and that charges are not expected to be filed.
Warnings from some top tech execs that artificial intelligence could harm humanity as we know it.
High-level execs at places like Google and Microsoft added their names to a short letter posted online warning that artificial intelligence is a huge risk to mankind. Worries about AI systems outsmarting humans and running wild have intensified, says Dan Hendricks with the Center for AI Safety.
They could use them for bioterrorism. They could ask the bot, how do I synthesize this bioweapon? That would increase the number of people who could create a bioweapon by several orders of magnitude.
The one-line statement ended by saying it should be priority, like pandemics and nuclear war. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Coming up, what kind of allergy season are we in for here in southeast Wisconsin this year, and what can you do about it? That story next. Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
What's the way to build your wealth?
While going over a new client's statements from one of the big financial firms, I was floored when I read that firm does not offer tax or estate planning advice. Because we know that saving money for our clients on their taxes, legally and well within the law, can make a huge difference in their financial plan. If you want to wisely build your wealth, it is my firm opinion that without a comprehensive approach, you're going to be at a big disadvantage. At Financial Strategies, Inc., we're taking a deep dive and creating comprehensive strategies that develop your retirement, investment, and your tax and estate planning. And all under a fee-only structure that means the success we care about most is yours. I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
When you say Hasselus Mattress doesn't have employees, it's not a trick just so you can jump out and yell, surprise, right?
No.
So, no surprises?
Well, now through Monday, get a $200 credit on your new Sealy Posturepedic or Beaterest mattress just for shopping local.
I'm feeling faint.
Free next day delivery, too. Surprise! Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Spas! The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only at the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only at the Wisconsin State Fair Park Cream Puff Pavilion. Visit 800spasale.com.
Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors. Certainty Diamond Level Select Shingle Masters. The best of the best. And that's why you can feel confident in choosing us to install your new roof.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
In the room where it happens, Brandon Snide has more on the role Giannis played in selecting the Bucks' next head coach. That's coming up in sports at 6:45.
And we continue to follow the breaking news out of West Allis, where fire crews are battling an apartment complex fire. This is near Wolmer and Wildwood, so it's just west of Highway 100 in West Allis at this point. No word on any injuries or how this fire started, but lots of crews on scene, and you might see that smoke billowing from the site.
Might be feeling it already. A lot of tree pollen in the air, bringing puffy eyes and runny noses. President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. John Raymond, telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News there are some things you can do to prevent allergy symptoms.
Simple things like keeping the windows closed, turning your air conditioning on, not hanging clothes out to line dry, because then you're bringing the allergen into the house, taking your clothes off, and maybe not bringing your shoes in the house when you've been out exposed to the pollens help.
Yeah, I always strip down right when I walk in the door, Eric. I've just always done that. It's just good.
That's not your thing.
It's good health, right? Dr. Raymond says we're not quite at peak for allergies, and that actually next month it's going to be more the grass pollen causing the sniffles.
A NASA panel that was formed last year to study UFOs is going to hold its first public hearing today, says CBS correspondent Cammie McCormick.
NASA has been studying UFOs separately from a Pentagon investigation, which has also been looking into sightings by military pilots. A report from NASA is expected this summer. It's the first time the space agency has conducted such a study on a once very secretive subject. The government has debunked UFO theories dating back to the 40s, and NASA still doesn't call them UFOs, but rather UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena.
Well, I would like to have them identified then, please.
Yes, please.
Out with it. Tell us what you got.
IAP.
Coming up. He promised he'd do it, and now the governor is, well, he's fixing the darn roads. 6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, WTMJ's John Burke here. I love the Fox and Hounds restaurant. Absolutely incredible, and was recently voted the best supper club in the area. It first opened in 1933 and has been serving fabulous dinners for almost 90 years in their gorgeous rustic timber building. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free 7 days a week, even Friday and Saturday. Every Wednesday, when you buy one world-class prime rib dinner, your second prime rib dinner is free. Order anything on the menu, you got it. Your second dinner's free. Made from scratch desserts to incredible ice cream drinks. Add a Manhattan, an old-fashioned, or over 100 wines to accent your dinner. The Fox and Hounds is family-owned and one of the most unique and affordable supper clubs in Wisconsin, and your second dinner is always free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east in the shadows of the beautiful Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive is spectacular, a must-see. Enjoy a free prime rib dinner tonight or any entree. Tables are still open. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Checking in at 6:39 on the traffic situation. Debbie?
Yeah, it's looking great right now, Vince. No major delays around the area. We are at full freeway speeds. Even through the construction zones, not seeing too much of a backup. Just keep your eyes peeled for a possible disabled vehicle on northbound 94 up against the median wall just south of Ryan Road. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: warm, humid, and sunny. Chance of an afternoon pop-up shower, clap of thunder. Highs in the mid-80s at the lakefront, upper 80s farther inland. It's a copy and paste forecast for our Thursday and Friday. We're looking at low 80s at the lakefront, mid to upper 80s inland with a chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. Mostly sunny and warm for Saturday. Highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, and we'll hold on to some sunshine on Sunday. Highs around 77 degrees in the east, mid-80s in the west. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, 65 degrees in Milwaukee. .641 on Wisconsin's Morning News. If you drove by the pothole repair operation on Brown Deer Road yesterday, you may have taken notice of a particularly senior member of the road repair crew. Well, no, so you would typically expect the
unnecessary shot.
When you drive by folks fixing potholes, you expect to see the younger men and women out there doing the road repair. It's hard work. It's physical labor. You got the hot mix, the asphalt there. You got shovels. You got the tamper. You got to bang that down a little bit. You expect them to be on the younger end of the spectrum, wouldn't you? Well, this road crew at 51st and Brown Deer yesterday morning had a guy past retirement age scooping the hot mix right there into the road bed. 71 years old.
We fixed the damn roads. We've been...
Yes, Governor Tony Evers, which you recall right there in the waning days of the campaign, was asked about, make your case for governor. And he's like, Look, we did this. I fixed the damn roads. What do you want from me? Vote for me or don't. I love that little clip from him. But Governor Evers this morning will continue his statewide pothole patrol tour, which landed in our area yesterday. There's Governor Evers. He had the shovel in hand. He had the roadside vest on. But he was doing the work.
It would have been cool if they had a different program. Instead of calling it Pothole Patrol, if they called it, like, Fix the Damn Roads.
Governor Evers,
awesome.
Fix the Damn Roads Tour 23.
That would have been awesome.
He's actually done this in a number of years. He is scheduled to be in western Wisconsin today, so he'll be in Eau Claire and La Crosse areas, Chippewa Falls specifically at noon, Onalaska just outside of La Crosse at 1:45. He's, of course, touting the infrastructure investments that he pledged in his state budget, which is still being debated. Republicans in the state legislature are largely starting from scratch on that, but the governor is saying, look, roads and road repairs and maintenance and new roads, all that's been a priority for me. So that's the purpose of the pothole tour, not so much that he's doing a lot of hard work. And actually, if you want to know the math on that, do this one. He's got an hour-and-a-half drive from Chippewa Falls today to Onalaska, with the media events less than 2 hours apart. So they probably can't count on the governor for a full shift up there doing his thing with the road crew. It's legit a photo op, but it gave us an opportunity to
We fix the damn roads.
Play that again. 6:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Listen, joint pain is a thief. No two ways about it.
That's football legend Emmitt Smith, who knows a thing or two about pain.
It steals your joy, your time with family, or doing things you love. It can even steal your livelihood. But QC Kinetics can help put a stop to that.
Don't hand everything over to pain. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, a cutting-edge technology that helps relieve pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back using healing properties directly from your own body.
It's easy. Get treated in the office and walk right out afterward.
Simple, right? And QC Kinetics' remarkable all-natural treatments deliver long-lasting relief without surgery or long recovery times.
Don't let soreness or achiness rob you of doing the things you love. Tell that pain, not today, not ever. You've got QC Kinetics on your side.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers dropped game 1 of 3 against Toronto on Tuesday night. This one by a final score of 7-2. Adrian Hauser got the start for the Brewers, tossing 4 1/3 innings while surrendering 6 earned runs. With the loss, the Brewers have now dropped 4 of their last 5 games and will look to rebound tonight against the Blue Jays. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ beginning at 5:30.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Brendan Snide.
Milwaukee Brewers have lost 4 of their last 5 games and 6 of their previous 10. After starting the season winning 14 of their first 19 games, the Brew Crew currently is sitting with a 28-26 record. The reason for the slide, injuries are for sure an argument, I suppose, but the lack of offense is the biggest reason of them all. In other words, it stinks. Jesse Winker, who the Brewers had high hopes for, has yet to find his swing while fighting an injury of his own. Luke Voigt, who once led the American League in home runs, was recently designated for assignment. The Brewers' offense ranks dead last in the majors when faced with a deficit and dead last in OPS in the 8th and 9th innings. Doesn't sound like quite the recipe for success now, does it? Look, I don't think I'm breaking any news here, but if this team is going to be anything this summer, somewhere, somehow, this offense, this team must find its groove. Is that just turning it around at the plate, as simple as that is? Maybe. Is it going out and making a move? Is it sticking with guys like Bryce Terrain and Joey Weimer, allowing them to figure out their rookie struggles? This team, currently as constructed, to me at least, is good enough to compete and win the National League Central. But they must rely on guys that are being paid here to provide that offense. All of them, Rowdy Tellez, Christian Yelich, Willie Adames, to name a few, have failed to do so for the most part. If the Brewers are going to have a party this summer, and they're going to party with the cheesehead, the offense needs to bring the juice. If not, prepare, Brewers fans. It will be a long and ugly storm in Milwaukee.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hello, reporting an accident on 40.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, at thehomemazda.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hey, Debbie, this is Al calling. Southbound 894 is backed up all the way to Beloit Road.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
Hi, Debbie. It's Mark. There's an incident on the left shoulder, and it's a parking lot.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for LAK Group. Eric, you manage people, right? You have various duties.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of hiring people, what's the next most challenging part about being in charge?
Easy. Firing.
Yes, nobody likes to do that, and LAK Group can help you do that. If downsizing is an unfortunate reality in your corporate world, there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it for everybody involved. LAK Group can help, acting as your company's partner during outplacement and helping turn what can be an unfortunate time for employees into one of opportunity. They help people affected find a new path. They'll offer valuable guidance. They can turn an end into a beginning. Discover how LAK Group can help you with outplacement services at transformingcareers.com. LAK Group, discover your human advantage.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Your pain is likely due to a wear and tear process called osteoarthritis. Now, when you combine that with being a little overweight or not being as active as you'd like to be, you get into a downward pain spiral. At Rejuvenex, we control pain by precisely targeting and treating the areas where your pain lives, like shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, with our powerful FDA-approved treatments that cushion and lubricate the affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief. Now, like maintenance on a car, to maintain your relief, our team of physicians will follow up with you roughly every 6 to 18 months. My name is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Rejuvenex is in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief. Really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Enjoy music, fun, and kids' entertainment this Saturday, June 3rd at Sendik's Family Fun Day from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the corners of Brookfield. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening, Debbie?
We're seeing nothing out there. It is actually looking pretty good. Well, I take that back. We do have one little area of heavy traffic, northbound 41, just north of the Zoo Interchange, north of Wisconsin Avenue, all the way up to Watertown Plank Road. Just that one little pocket there. Everything else seems to be moving along pretty well. While you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. I'll make this simple for you. The next 3 days, the forecast is virtually the same. Warm and humid under sunny skies each afternoon with a chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. High temperatures in the low to mid 80s near Lake Michigan, upper 80s inland. And then for Saturday, mostly sunny and warm, high 78 at the lake, 86 inland. Sunday, mostly sunny, 85 degrees your high temperature, a bit cooler near the lake right now, 65 degrees in Milwaukee. About 10 minutes before 7 o'clock here on this Wednesday morning. Wisconsin's Morning News. Headline in Dan Bice's column in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. U.S. Rep. Gwen Moore used her leadership pack on lobster, limos, and wine country luxury.
Hi, I'm Gwen Moore.
The Honorable Gwen Moore, representative from Wisconsin's 4th Congressional District, a seat she's held for 18 years, written up for essentially using her political action committee as a lavish slush fund.
We gather, unified in spirit, unified in our values and purpose to heal divisions and together move the nation confidently into a prosperous, inclusive future.
That was the Congresswoman speaking at the 2020 Democratic National Convention here in Milwaukee. Apparently she's been gathering a lot, and including a lot of people at a cost of hundreds of thousands of donor dollars funneled into her PAC, including, according to Bice, $96,000 on travel, $48,000 on food and beverages, including 16 trips to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and a $1,000 tab at Luke's Lobster in Chicago. Dr. Ken Harris, our teammate at 1017 The Truth, is with us this morning. Ken, these PACs are not illegal. They are set up so politicians can do some whining and dining, meet with donors, do other things, and members of Congress on both sides of the aisle do it. That said, this is quite a tab.
Not really, though.
It's not?
She doesn't have a lot of money in her PAC. I mean, when you look at
well,
other
not anymore.
PACs, well, that's what it's for. Like this doesn't make any sense to me. Like out of all the time that Gwen Moore has been here for 18 years, you got to peep out of her here or there. Well, same thing with Tom Barrett. But anyway, at some point, why now? What's the big deal now? Everybody in America, that is why you have a political action committee, a leadership political action committee.
To fundraise and then use that to contribute to not only things
Other
like
people.
this, but other people,
Sure.
other ways. So
Sure.
I'm a member of Congress. I like Dr. Ken. He's running for office. I raise money here. This
Right.
allows me through that to funnel money into your campaign to support various political ideals.
Right, but when you talk to me, you invite me
We
and
going
my
for lobster?
entourage out for lobster. I mean, that's what everybody does. That's what Bush did. That's what Reagan did. That's what Clinton did. That's what Obama did. Why is it a problem now?
Well, okay, take one more out of it. Is it a problem at all?
No.
Either side of the aisle,
No,
all this
because-
money being raised.
Because
and
now
all
you know
this-
where the money is coming in, and you know where the money is going out. That's what it's for.
There's an accounting for
Sure.
it, and if it bothers you, then fine, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
And they turned everything over. Everything he asked for, he got. So what's the problem?
I think one other thing that stood out to me is in the article, again, Dan Bice in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting that Gwen Moore's leadership PAC wrote 7 checks to her sister, Brenda Moore, for a total of $22,000 in fundraising and consulting. She was paid $232,000 in salary for work on her sister's reelection campaign.
Okay.
Gwen Moore could get reelected without sending out a flyer.
That doesn't mean people don't work for you. And everybody I know, their
For
families,
$250,000 to get her reelected?
Their families work on their PACs. Come on. That's the game. That's the whole game. The game is you get to hire your family, you get to hire your friends, you get to hire the children of those people who have assisted you and given you money. That whole system is set up for that very reason. I have no problem with it because it is transparent.
Well, I do think one thing that's interesting about members of Congress, and you even see this at the local level, where you're talking, we had a number of aldermen and women over the years rung up on, using your specific campaign funds for things like that. That's against the rules. So that's what they got rung up on. But either way, you have folks oftentimes from modest means, right? Just regular old people. All of a sudden, you're in Congress.
And you got a couple $1 million.
And you're rubbing elbows with millionaires and in some cases billionaires. And you're at the same cocktail parties as all that, but you're not at their level. And it seems like oftentimes these things are set up to bring them up to that level. I just don't want, legal as it may be, man, nobody wants to have their representatives like on the take. Nobody puts them in office to go out there and all of a sudden lead this lavish lifestyle.
But you're running with people who lead a lavish lifestyle. The people that gave you the money are leading a lavish lifestyle. And if you don't fit
naive, innocent Vitrano.
Well, let them pay for it.
They're so cute over there.
like really?
My goodness.
Really?
Go to Washington
I
once.
almost asked him the most offensive question you could ask.
Almost. All right, it's out now. Go ahead.
How old are you?
Right.
I mean, at some point,
old enough to know better. Right.
You
Yes,
know,
I am.
come on. You are an experienced journalist who's been around the block a couple times, and you know that's why they created it. Like if you look at the intricacy of the differences in the PACs, you know they created this only for a person like a state senator, Barack Obama, to become a U.S. Senator, Barack Obama, and before he finishes his term, become president of the United States. That's what it's for.
And so if I can define your position, as long as it's above board and it's reported
and transparent,
you don't see, right? You don't see any,
irregularities,
influence issues, or anything like that.
Well, yeah, there's always going to be influence issues. That's why it's created. The fact that they called it a leadership PAC. Who exactly are you leading with this $5-10 million?
Only been to Ruth's Chris once myself. It was real tasty.
I go there a lot.
Dr. Ken Harris, our teammate at 101.7 The Truth. Contribute to his PAC. Do you want to give us your... No,
I'm actually starting one.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
And what are you going to do with it besides dine out?
Haven't thought that far yet.
Well, I'm available. 6:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Business headlines up next with the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan.
Pewaukee residents will have another coffee option starting June 20th when Big B opens its new drive-thru on Watertown Road. Beyond coffee, Big B's menu includes sandwiches and muffins. A Milwaukee manufacturer's decision to close a Fond du Lac plant will eliminate 77 jobs. EIS North America, based in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward, owns and will close that LK Interior Systems plant. About 7 acres on Forest Home Avenue in Hales Corners sell for $3.5 million to developer Wimmer Communities. Future plans have not been announced. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
And no drafts. Don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
Hey WTMJs, John Mercure here. One of my very favorite parts of our great Wisconsin summer is the EAA Air Venture Oshkosh. I grew up making memories at Air Venture every year. The air shows, the planes, the people, the food, the fun, stuff for kids, stuff for adults, all the excitement. This year, the EAA Magic is from July 24th to July 30th. Get your tickets now at EAA.org. Create new memories for your family this summer. Join me at EAA. Check it out, EAA.org.
The Simply Yours sofa from Penny Mustard is like a choose-your-own-adventure book.
Because you choose your own features.
Arm style, cushions, back, legs, finish, fabric, color, everything.
If you choose to slay the dragon, turn to page 34.
But to choose a sofa that's the envy of all your friends, turn to Penny Mustard.
The Simply Yours sofa, starting at $46 a month, with just 1 penny down and no interest until May of 2027, through June 4th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Wednesday, May 31st. Our top story, crews still on scene battling a large fire in West Allis.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Tech leaders warn humanity's at risk.
I'm Brandon Snod. Giannis makes his voice be heard in the hiring of the Bucks' next head coach.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and northbound on 41 starting to see that heavier traffic kicking in right about at Blue Mound Road up past Watertown Plank. Rest of the system actually looking pretty good. Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Sunny skies, warm and humid today with a chance this afternoon of a pop-up rain or thunderstorm. And a high of 84 at the lake, 88 inland. Tonight's low down to 61 under partly cloudy skies. Milwaukee temp up to 68 already on this Wednesday morning. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we have breaking news in West Allis this morning. Crews still on scene of a large fire there. It is visible from the freeway. You can see it from Highway 100. Smoke all over the neighborhood there. It's just west of Highway 100 and Morgan. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo on scene at this apartment complex.
Fire trucks are right in front of what looks to be 2 units maybe connected to each other, and firefighters have continually been throwing water on this, but you can now see the structure. There was a point where it was really hard to see with how thick the smoke was, and in the air, people all around us are trying to kind of keep their mouths covered because it's just so thick and dry in the air.
Yeah, we don't know of any injuries at this point or how the fire started. Elaine's going to join us live at 7:10 this morning for an update on what's happening there in that neighborhood.
House lawmakers are expected to vote today on the debt limit deal brokered by President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. ABC's Rachel Scott.
With a vote in the House now just hours away, President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy racing to sell their deal and avoid a devastating default.
I'll try to get as many votes as we can.
But McCarthy is facing growing opposition within his own party. Conservatives who say the bill doesn't go far enough to cut spending. In a surprise turn, the Republican demand for stricter work requirements for some older Americans on food assistance actually increased spending by $2 billion and makes 78,000 more people eligible for aid monthly.
The Wisconsin congressional delegation mixed on the debt deal, at least at this point. Congresswoman Gwen Moore telling the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel she doesn't like it. GOP Congressman Brian Stile and Derek Van Orden both have said they support the agreement. Democrat Mark Pocan, Republican Tom Tiffany. Paper says both were undecided.
Still waiting to hear from others. Republican Glenn Grothman has told the Journal-Sentinel that he would have liked to see provisions related to the southern border in the bill. And Congressman Mike Gallagher over the weekend did tell a local Fox station that there seems to be some reasonable compromises, I should say. As for your senators, Senator Ron Johnson tells the Journal-Sentinel he is probably a no. And a spokesperson for Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin says she is still reviewing the measure.
Wisconsin's abortion ban would get some tweaks under a package of measures proposed in the state legislature by Republicans. One measure would clarify that medical procedures designed to save a pregnant woman's life don't qualify as abortion. Governor Tony Evers would be expected to veto that measure as he awaits the state Supreme Court ruling on the Roe v. Wade situation. What happens post that? Another bill in the package would increase the tax exemption that parents can claim for each dependent from $700 to $1,000. But here's the interesting part. It would extend eligibility to parents of unborn children, so parents could claim that exemption as soon as an ultrasound detects a heartbeat in the unborn child.
Experts and leaders of tech companies warning that humanity is at risk from artificial intelligence. In a letter signed by chief executives for the company that created ChatGPT, as well as Google and Microsoft, the Center for AI Safety calls for an immediate pause on all work on AI systems for at least 6 months in order to take stocks of the risks. Dan Hendricks with the Center of AI Safety.
We're in fact saying that it could end the human race. We're not talking about the current ChatGPT models or anything like that. We're talking about potential future versions of AI.
The letter urges governments to step in the case of anyone who is unwilling to stop and pause.
The Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency continues to work to bring Wisconsin's fallen home.
The organization has identified several soldiers from the Badger State in recent years. Retired General and DPAA Director Kelly McCaig tells WTMJ about one of them.
So, Milwaukee native. His name was Arthur Thinnes. He was 17 years old when he joined the Navy in January 1941.
Thinnes was identified in 2021, and another, David Riley, was just laid to rest in his home state this past weekend. McCaig says Riley, a foster kid, was a tough case.
We depend upon, in this case, the Navy, who employ tremendous genealogists, and they scour their records.
Wyatt Barmarpooli, WTMJ News.
Coming up, was it the finale for a popular streaming show or no? Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Your first night camping alone. The new tent, fully set up. Your bug spray, barely keeping up. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free overdraft protection transfers. So when you bought all those supplies and lost track of your spending, we had you covered. You got this with free overdraft protection transfers from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
There seem to be a lot of mergers and acquisitions in the insurance business. To share some knowledge about the topic and its impact, I'm talking with Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Hi, Vince. Thousands of insurance agents and brokers have merged or sold, with more to come. The impact of M&A can be costly and disruptive. Your insurance agent may no longer be your insurance agent. Your agent becomes preoccupied with the internal grind of a merger. New systems, new people, a new business philosophy, a new culture, and they lose focus on you. Being stable during uncertain times is a valuable asset. If 48 years of stability, local family ownership, and deep industry knowledge are important to you, you need R&R Insurance. We are not for sale.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As a business insurance top 100 agency, R&R Insurance will be focused on you, the client, and not the progress and payout of an acquisition. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Spas! The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only to the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% off retail. This weekend only at the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Not a good start to the short series in Toronto for the Crew. Brandon Snide looks ahead in sports coming up at 7:15.
Regulations for food trucks will be discussed today in the Milwaukee Common Council. This ordinance would create a zone where the trucks are limited to 6 hours in one spot. There will also be a 1 a.m. curfew. Ordinance would also create a second zone that limits the amount of food trucks that can gather near places like Burnham Park. The idea there to reduce litter and disruption from those trucks.
Davenport, Iowa, 5 people still missing, including 2 who could be buried under the rubble of a partially collapsed apartment building. Lisa Brooks was rescued Monday night, just hours after authorities said everyone in the building had been accounted for, and a day after the building began to fall. Brooks said she's grateful that first responders didn't give up on her. Neighbors and others at the site demanding that the search continue.
I was terrified. I was afraid for my life. I really thank the firemen that saved my life, and everyone was on the ground.
One of TV's most talked about and critically acclaimed comedies might have just ended, or perhaps not.
Did Ted Lasso just walk off the pitch for good? The finale of Season 3 dropped overnight. Co-creator and star Jason Sudeikis has said it wraps up the 3-season story they'd always set out to tell. Writer and star Brett Goldstein tells me he's not sure if it's over, but it certainly feels like a chapter has ended.
I feel very emotional about the whole thing. I love and have loved making this show so much. And whatever happens, I'm not currently working every day with these people, and that is sad.
What do you say to a cocktail, Coach Lasso?
Oh, the same thing I'd say to Diane Sawyer if she ever asked me out on a date. Yes, please.
There's been no official word from Apple on the fate of Ted Lasso. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
I'm behind here on Season 3. I'm only a couple in, I think. You might be behind me yet.
I'm on episode 4, so
it sounds about right. All right, 7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News. We're going to go live to that scene of the fire in West Dallas. Wait, Eric, you've been on the scene of a lot of fires in your day, right?
Sure.
It seems like a lot of smoke and steam coming up from this still this morning. It's all over the neighborhood. We'll check in with Elaine Rojas Castillo, who is there next.
This report is sponsored by Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
In the past 70 years, there's something that has never changed. The kitchen. Oh, it may look a little different as the decades have passed, but it's always been where family gathers for meals, memories, and more. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has always understood that and remains dedicated to making that important space special.
With an expansive 18,000 square foot showroom filled with full-size displays featuring Play-Doh custom cabinetry, award-winning designers, plus their own in-house installation department, let Wisconsin Kitchen Mart transform your kitchen into a true gathering place.
I'm Robert Iskey, Vice President and Designer from Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. We've been remodeling kitchens and baths since 1951 and can help establish a vision for your remodel. We bring the carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and everyone else needed to make your dream kitchen a reality.
Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart on the corner of West Wisconsin Avenue and 36th Street in Milwaukee. Online at wisconsinkitchenmart.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
When was the last time you had a second opinion on your retirement plan? If you have $750,000 or more, schedule your retirement review with one of our fiduciary advisors at thekowalway.com.
Just about 11 minutes after 7. Let's check the roads here with Debbie.
All right, a little heavy on northbound 41 coming out of the zoo interchange up to Watertown Plank Road. But the rest of the system seems to be moving along pretty well. Not seeing delays east or westbound on 94 between the zoo and the Marquette. We've also got a pretty good ride through the construction zones on 43 and 41. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: warm, humid, and sunny with a chance of an afternoon pop-up shower or clap of thunder. High temperatures in the mid-80s at the lakefront, upper 80s to near 90 degrees farther inland. We'll hold on to a few clouds overnight with lows dipping back into the lower 60s. It's a copy and paste forecast for Thursday and Friday. Chance of an afternoon pop-up shower with highs in the low 80s at the lakefront, mid and upper 80s farther inland. Mostly sunny and warm for Saturday with highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, mid-80s farther inland, and we'll look for more sunshine on Sunday with highs in the upper 70s to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Already at 68 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
At 7:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News, Eric and I have been talking about the big fire in West Dallas. Give you a location here. Your north-south street, or your east-west street would be Morgan, and then this would be west of Highway 100, so west of the freeway as well in that neighborhood. And there is smoke all over the place. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo has been on scene for quite some time this morning. Elaine, I thought it was interesting what you said earlier about you have asthma and it's really aggravating you how much smoke is kind of still at that street level.
Yeah, I mean, we try as journalists to not include ourselves, but I didn't want to lie to people and say that this was a comfortable place. Like, I've covered fires for years, and this smoke is different. It's like burning your throat. So I've seen people all the neighbors that have come out, some have like towels over their mouths. You can see people drinking water. It's a heavier smoke that you can see for miles, and it's definitely not something people want to be around if they can avoid it.
What's on fire, Elaine?
So from what we've been able to gather, it was one of the apartments in a part of this complex. So I actually talked to neighbors that live around that particular unit. I talked to a guy who lives right underneath it, and he said that he saw the flames coming from what looked to be like the porch area, but he wasn't really sure, and he actually woke up to the light of the flame before the alarms went off.
Oh, yeah, there was definitely, just looking at the video that you all have had this morning, a lot of flames associated with this, and that, I think you described it well, that thick smoke that is just sort of hanging around. Eric and I were talking, we both covered plenty of fires in our day as well. You can always smell it in the air, but it seems like that smoke is still enveloping a large part of that neighborhood, Elaine.
Yeah, it is, and it's also going into the highway. Like, we were actually on the other side of town. We were in Milwaukee, and on our way there, we were like, oh, I wonder where it's at. And as soon as you turned, you could see it for miles. I mean, it's this thick, dark, which is why we still don't know what caused it, but it's something that one of the neighbors said that from what they were looking, they were like, I don't know what it could be because I've never seen smoke that dark and burning for that long.
I know firefighters are still working hard, Elaine. Any word on injuries associated with this?
We haven't got anything confirmed yet. The neighbors that I talked to said that they're the two units that it could be, they're not sure which one. There were families living in there, but no one's been able to really tell us if there's been any injuries. We did see an ambulance come, but as of right now, we haven't been able to confirm anything like that.
TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo. Appreciate talking to you live this morning. Thanks, Elaine.
Absolutely. Take care.
Brandon Snide up next with sports. Sports is sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the Memorial Day sales event is on. Steer into summer and drive inspired in a new Mazda from Holiday, the destination to get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and enjoy more choices from their fast-expanding selection, including Mazda CX-5, CX-50, and the all-new first-ever Mazda CX-90. Choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way. You'll be in the caring hands of Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer. It's #1 Mazda certified pre family-owned dealer and the Badger State's only recipient of the prestigious Mazda President's Club Award, recognizing exceptional guest care. Accolades are per Mazda North American Operations, Performance, and Zone Sales records for 2022. As a repeat fan of theirs myself, I can confidently say you are in for a great buying and ownership experience when you drive Holiday. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
The new Raid Essentials light trap uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. For insecticide protection that's people and pet friendly, get new Raid Essential light trap.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Brewers were back on the diamond Tuesday night and allowed 14 hits to Toronto as the Blue Jays beat Milwaukee, this one by a final score of 7-2.
Pitch to Biggio, ground ball. That one past the dive of the second baseman Miller and into right center. It's a base hit for Biggio. Merrifield scores run number 7.
Josh Morrow on the call right here on WTMJ. As you just heard, the Jays plate 7 and send the crew home with their 26th loss of the season. The Brewers have now lost 4 of their last 5 games and will look to bounce back tonight against Toronto. That first pitch is set for 6:07. The Milwaukee Bucks are staying busy as they look ahead to next season. The team has set out to hire former Bucks assistant Adrian Griffin, who will replace Mike Budenholzer, according to NBA insider Shams Charania. It was quite the process for the Bucks during the hiring process, who even sought out advice from their 2-time MVP.
They went through a finalist process of Nick Nurse, Adrian Griffin, Kenny Atkinson, and interestingly, they all met one-on-one with Giannis before any hiring was made. And then ownership, Giannis, John Horst, their general manager in Milwaukee, they all huddled up afterward to figure out exactly who the coach would be.
The NBA Finals will begin Thursday night in Denver with the Nuggets hosting the Miami Heat. Miami became just the second number 8 seed to reach the NBA Finals. Lastly, the Milwaukee Admirals are embarking on quite the Calder Cup playoff run after the 2 previous playoff series were both 5 games apiece. President John Greenberg is thankful this one is 7 games against Coachella Valley.
You know what? When you're down 2 games to none, it's the world. You're not playing for your life in Game 3. You're playing just to find a way to get back into the series.
The Admirals are currently down 2-1 after winning Game 3, but nonetheless, being on the home ice can make all the difference for Milwaukee.
Oh, my goodness. It felt like we had been gone for a year. The last home game was on May 13th, so a 16-day break from playing in front of our own fans, and you could definitely tell the difference with our guys. We played a great game on Monday night, and the energy and the enthusiasm with our fans in the building really helped a ton. So it's great to be home.
The Admirals will look to even the series with Game 4 beginning at 7 p.m. on Thursday night.
Coachella sounds like a fashion show.
It does.
We ought to be able to take care of that.
It's like isn't that a concert in California?
Yeah,
Come on.
like that.
Not a hockey
Coming
team.
up next, maybe you've heard of the toxic work environment complaints from Kelly Clarkson's show. What that says about our workplaces. Apparently, you can have top-level management and leadership ignorant to their own culture. It happens more often than you might think. That story next.
Brewers fans, it's me, Dom Catronio, host of Brewers Extra Innings, here to tell you that you can now catch Brewers Extra Innings wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, and of course, WTMJ.com and the WTMJ mobile app. Every stat, every storyline, and of course, highlights from the games this season following the Brewers all year long. Catch Brewers Extra Innings, presented by Fifth Third Bank, right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. We got a couple of days ahead, pushing 80 degrees this week, and the worst feeling in the world when you turn on that AC unit is the fans blowing, but there's no cold air coming up. That's a 911 call to 911 Heating and Air. Maybe it's not working at all. Either way, you want to get these guys out there, because the first thing you do when stuff's not working, start calling around, asking around your friends, hey, do you know somebody? Do you have an HVAC guy? I got an HVAC guy. It's 911 Heating and Air, and that's my recommendation to you. I met with the owner, Alex Peterson, recently. Now, he is happy to sell you a new air conditioning unit if that's what you want. He'll guarantee his work, 10-year warranty on the new units. But Alex also gets really excited about saving your existing unit and getting that thing operating well. He and his team offer the AC overhaul. Any age unit they'll work on includes all new parts and service with a 2-year ice-cold guarantee. And the pricing, this is the great part, it's listed up front on the website so you know what you're getting into. You've got an honest guy who presents to you options. Tell him Vinny sent you. Visit 911heatusa.com.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz. Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
Checking in on the roads here at 722. Debbie?
All right, everything's been looking pretty good so far this morning. Northbound on 41, just a little bit tight heading into the Watertown Plank Road area. And southbound 43 starting to tap on the brakes just a bit heading past Hampton Avenue through that construction zone. But for the most part, everything else looks pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for the next 3 days from meteorologist Brendan Johnson. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all virtually the same. Warm and humid under sunny skies. Each afternoon, chance for a shower or a quick thunderstorm that would pop up. It's not widespread rain, but there is that threat each day. And our temperatures in the mid to upper 80s inland, low to mid 80s if you're near Lake Michigan. Right now, it's 68 degrees in Milwaukee. You know anybody that watches the Kelly Clarkson show?
It's on every day here at work.
Yeah, not really my cup of tea, but I know I like her.
Yeah, she's very pleasant.
And
a lot of people to talk to. She's got a lot of good guests.
Yeah, that's why this caused a lot of people to be confused. There's this allegation that she has on her show what is called, and folks who work anywhere probably are aware of these terms, toxic workplace, toxic environment. Like, you don't want to hear those words about something that you're associated with. And so it's interesting. She had this, I don't know if I want to call it a scandal, but Rolling Stone wrote it up a couple of weeks ago. They broke the story. People who work on the show say it's a toxic work environment. Let me play you this from Entertainment Tonight to set the stage.
One current and 10 former employees of the show opened up to Rolling Stone about the alleged conditions, claiming they were overworked, underpaid, and their time at the show was traumatizing to their mental health. One former employee says NBC, the network that airs the daytime talk show, is protecting the show because it's their new moneymaker. But Kelly has no clue how unhappy her staff is.
Kelly has no clue how unhappy her staff is. How can that be?
Does she not interact with the staff, do you think, or?
Well, it's probably a different relationship than your typical boss-employee, right? Because
she's not also doing one-on-ones with them?
Right. She's also the quote-unquote talent. So she is also managed by people, and you just get this sense that she was really insulated from things that were going on amongst her staff. And in fact, a lot of members of her staff said, no, it's not Kelly. Kelly's cool. She's nice. She's respectful. So there's no question, really, it seems, among the staff that this was coming from her. But that caused me to question, how can that be? How can you have top-level management or leadership in a company not know what's going on? I talked with Mike Grubich. He's president of LAK Group, one of our partners here at WTMJ. They're a business consulting firm, and Grubich says this sort of thing is not as rare as it should be.
The last people to know when things aren't going good culturally are the leaders, right? Everyone else knows way before that. They experience it, they talk about it, so on and so forth, but leaders are the last to know. And unfortunately, sometimes when they know, it's too late. It's not recoverable, and it's when someone's leaving.
Not recoverable. I'm going to have more on that in a moment, but back to what Grubich is saying here, oftentimes because they're sort of isolated from these real conversations or simply not paying enough attention, leaders in workplaces really aren't aware of the culture and environment in their own facilities, in their own companies. And that's not an excuse, because they should be. It's not going to happen through a series of meetings and calendar invites. Here's Grubich again from LAK Group.
I honestly, I think the most value added is when it's organic. If it's too prescribed, it almost becomes a check the box. If you're having conversations, you're engaging, you're asking questions. Phrase we use a lot is, as a leader, don't go into a situation to try to be interesting. Go in, try to be interested. When you do that and take that approach, people start to talk to you. They follow you and they're engaged.
All right, so how about you? You're at a company you like, you're doing a job that you like, but things in the workplace are starting to get ugly. I am typically sort of a mind my own business employee. I lead by example. I try to work hard. I try to go about my business, and I don't try to stick my nose into other people's stuff. And you don't want to feel like you're running to the boss and tattling on everybody. That said, Grubich says it's important for people to speak up when things are going sideways. And if you've got decent management, they would be glad that you did.
You need to bring it up or else it's never going to get fixed. And the thing that you should always have solace in is that if you're thinking of it or if you're seeing it, I pretty much can guarantee that you're one of many, not an only in that case. Take the lead on that and bring it up, but be constructive. How can I help? What can I do to help resolve this?
That's Mike Grubich, president at local business consulting firm LAK Group. Yeah, that last part important. Go in, present as wanting to be part of the solution. Otherwise, you're just whining and complaining and you don't get listened to. And here's the other thing. It takes a long time to really change the culture of an organization. I've talked with Grubich about that as well. LAK Group comes in. They work with staff and leadership and companies who are trying to create change. He says it can be a 3 to 5 year process to really turn around the culture of an organization. So didn't know? That's an explanation, not an excuse. But if it's bugging you where you work, take the lead and offer to help.
Welcome to the Kelly Clarkson Show. This is my first show. I'm so excited.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed down about 51 points to 33,043. The NASDAQ was at 13,017. That was up almost 42 on the day. No movement on the S&P 500. That's at 4206. For a deeper dive on the markets, listen to the Annex Wealth Management SWAT podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I'm not talking about unicorns and rainbows. I'm talking about Abby's proprietary, customized, color-coded install techniques. Did you know we have over 8 different ways to install a window compared to most companies only having one? It's not just about the window, it's about the install. We have high-quality installation material that can handle our Wisconsin 100-degree temperature swings. If you want a customized solution for your home, then call Abby today. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Jump into summer fun when the Brewers battle the Oakland Athletics. Friday, June 9th through Sunday the 11th. Get half-price tickets for any seat with the 5-county Friday offer at the series opener. And rep MKE all summer long with the City Connect Brewers flag giveaway at the game on Saturday the 10th. Grab your seats now at brewers.com/promotions.
CPAP is one option that can be used to keep the throat open at night. It can work. There are other ways of keeping that airway open other than the machine. Another option that most people have never heard of is an oral appliance. An oral appliance is like a retainer that you wear when you're sleeping at night. It's super slim, slides in your mouth, and what it does is it helps to keep your airway open. That's exactly what a CPAP machine does. Most people who are good candidates for a CPAP machine to treat their sleep apnea are also good candidates for an oral appliance. Most of those people never get offered an oral appliance. Advent has decided to change the practice of medicine in this country by offering oral appliances to our patients. And what that means is we are allowing our patients to have the choice of a CPAP machine oral appliance when they have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventNows.com.
It's 7:30. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Right to the traffic situation. Debbie?
All right. Building volume along eastbound 94 starting to slow down from 76th Street through the stadium. The westbound side's going to be a bit tight as well through that stadium interchange and other pockets on southbound 43. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Warm and humid, sunny today. Chance of afternoon showers or storms and a high in the mid to upper 80s.
Still counting the votes ahead of an expected tally today in the House on the debt ceiling deal ironed out by President Biden and Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. ABC's Rachel Scott is on Capitol Hill.
This is not exactly what President Biden or House Speaker Kevin McCarthy want to see hours before a critical vote. A growing number of lawmakers slamming the deal they brokered. But still, both leaders are confident they have the votes.
Well, they tried and they failed to launch a spy satellite from North Korea.
North Korea's attempt at launching its first military spy satellite
satellite ended up a failure on Wednesday. Pyongyang admitted the failure unusually fast and promised its people to make a second attempt as soon as possible. South Korean authorities said North Korea's satellite crashed into the West Sea while analyzing details of the launch. Hakyung Kate Lee, ABC News, Seoul.
Scientists and tech leaders issuing a new warning this week about the perils of artificial intelligence, calling AI a global priority like pandemics or the threat of nuclear war. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
We have breaking news this morning from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Crews still on scene battling a large fire in an apartment complex in West Dallas. You can see the smoke from the freeway from Highway 100. This is near Morgan, Highway 100 in Morgan, if you know that area. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo telling Wisconsin's Morning News how this fire started or where it started.
It was one of the apartments in a part of this complex. So I actually talked to neighbors that live around that particular unit. I talked to a guy who lives right underneath it, and he said that he saw the flames coming from what looked to be like the porch area, but he wasn't really sure, and he actually woke up to the light of the flame before the alarms went off.
And Elaine said she has not gotten any indication as to any injuries associated with the fire.
Milwaukee police continue to search for the driver of a hit-and-run crash on the east side on Brady Street that left one man in critical condition.
The crash happened just after 2 a.m. Monday morning near Brady and Arlington. A Brady Street regular named Quincy sent to the hospital after the crash. A GoFundMe set up on his behalf saying he broke both his legs and is being treated for internal bleeding. Alderman Jonathan Brostoff, who represents the district which contains Brady Street, has continued to call for it to be closed off to cars. But retired Brady Street business owner Felix Glorioso tells WTMJ there are other options.
I think if you have two more stops between Oakland Avenue and Van Buren, that would help slow traffic down.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
We do have a photo of the vehicle. It's a silver Jeep Patriot. They do believe that there's likely damage in the front of the hood now. You can see a photo of it on our website, WTMJ.com, or on the WTMJ mobile app.
Wisconsin Republicans have removed more than $60 million in a proposal to cut down on reckless driving for the budget proposed by Governor Tony Evers. Now, they are touting their own plans for reckless driving. Governor Evers telling TMJ4 News.
None of them are just huge, expensive items in the budget as compared to a lot of other things. Things that are taken out of the budget can be put back in, and that's a priority for us to have safe roads.
Republicans removing specifically some items related to traffic calming measures. Portions of the budget start going up for vote as early as Thursday. The whole thing needs to be passed and signed by July 1st.
Greenfield High School teacher has resigned after an investigation discovered that he had an improper relationship with an 18-year-old student. The district confirming the resignation in a letter sent home to parents earlier this week. The teacher placed on administrative leave earlier this month pending that investigation. Now, Greenfield police say no crime was committed. Charges are not expected to be filed.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
May is here, and as a Wisconsinite, you know that marks the start of sun, warmth, and joy. So when the rubber meets the road, you better be ready for the changing weather and the adventures that may lie ahead. This is Jim Griffin. Don't worry whether you are a new or existing customer on the north, west, or south side of town. You are as welcome as the flowers in May. We have you covered with the marvelous service specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC or your heat, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. During the month of May, don't let your vehicle's safety and changing weather compromise your adventures. Be ready for the roads. As much confidence and peace of mind as possible when you take advantage of the marvelous service specials good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
What if you could build a 6-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a 6-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
America's Gunsmith Shop. We fix and sell guns. Visit us in Burlington, Wisconsin, or check us out online at americasgunsmithshop.com.
Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Brewers play-by-play man Jeff Levering joins us from Canada. Coming up in Brewers 360 at 7:45.
Another respiratory illness spiking in Wisconsin, HMPV, adding to its name the triple-demic of RSV and COVID-19. The flu, of course, also something we're dealing with. President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. John Raymond, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Really interesting. This may be the second most common cause of respiratory illnesses and it's been around for at least 50 years, but it really isn't that well known.
So HMPV, RSV, COVID-19, and the flu still only account for less than 50% of all of the respiratory infections we're dealing with.
A NASA panel formed last year to study UFOs will hold its first public hearing today. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick.
NASA has been studying UFOs separately from a Pentagon investigation, which has also been looking into sightings by military pilots. A report from NASA is expected this summer. It's the first time the space agency has conducted such a study on a once very secretive subject. The government has debunked UFO theories dating back to the 40s, and NASA still doesn't call them UFOs, but rather UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena.
I don't care what you call them. Just tell us what you got.
We want to see pictures.
Like, stop protecting me from something or whatever.
We want details.
Know.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee, the quarterfinals begin this morning, and our Wisconsin contestant is still alive.
Yes.
His name is Aiden Waija-Kalasara. He's from Madison. He's a 7th grader. He's been in the competition before. He came in 51st place a couple of years ago.
It's okay, 51st in the land.
Yeah, I'll take that. So one of the words he had to spell yesterday was Bahavrihi, and that is having much rice.
It's borderline not a word. What are we talking about here? That's not fair.
It's not English.
The first known use of Bahavrihi was 1846. Another word he had to spell was burpee.
Like what you do at the gym?
Mm-hmm. The origin of that word is in my Coach Penrod's class, freshman year, high school. Bill said, more burpees.
Burpee. B-U-R-P-E-E. Burpee. Correct.
Wonder how many
well,
of those
the first one didn't knock him out. I get burpee.
Now, can he do a burpee, though? See, that's more. Actually, he had a cast on his leg, so he was in a wheelchair for the event. But Aiden says he's very confident today.
I'm feeling a lot more confident. I don't have a lot of expectations, but my goal was just because before last time I came here, I got through 3 rounds. So by getting through these 3 rounds, I'm proud of where I am, and whatever happens next, I'm okay with.
Yeah, here we go.
Man, sounds totally grounded.
Yep, love it.
He's ready. He's focused. Good. What's the furthest we've had a Wisconsinite advance in one of these? They've winners?
Oh, yeah.
Someone's won the Scripps National Spelling Bee
I've
from
spoken
Wisconsin.
to her. I've interviewed her
Really?
before. She now works at the medical college, I believe.
I hope so, right? Pretty sharp. 7:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Omaha Steaks. Easy way to make your father happy, omahasteaks.com. Pick out a great gift for your father right now. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com and use promo code WTMJ at checkout. There's no shopping, no wrapping, and the steaks are delivered right to your dad's door. I've done this for my son-in-laws. I've done this for my fathers. Easy way to say thanks, Dad, for all the things you do for me. Dads are the heroes we love. You know this. Whether they're fathers, stepfathers, fathers-in-law, father figures, always ready to step up when we need them most. For Father's Day, we're listening to what real dads have to say. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com. Use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Some heroes wear capes, others use tool belts, some even wear socks with sandals. No matter how your dad dresses, show him some love this year with the only gift that's as unforgettable as he is. omahasteaks.com. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com. Use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Minimum order may be required.
Checking on the roads here at 19 minutes before 8, Debbie.
All right, starting to see those delays now kicking in. Eastbound 94 between the zoo and downtown up to a 10-minute ride. Got delays out of the zoo interchange through the stadium. The westbound side from downtown to the zoo is going to be about 7, so just a little bit heavy into the stadium interchange. Southbound on 41, watch for the delays to kick in from about Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. On southbound 43, on and off the brakes in pockets from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Once you get past that, you're okay all the way into the Marquette. Hey, be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: warm, humid, and sunny. Chance of an afternoon pop-up shower, clap of thunder. Highs in the mid-80s at the lakefront, upper 80s farther inland. It's a copy and paste forecast for our Thursday and Friday. We're looking at low 80s at the lakefront, mid to upper 80s inland with a chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. Mostly sunny and warm for Saturday. Highs in the upper 70s at the lakefront, and we'll hold on to some sunshine on Sunday. Highs around 77 degrees in the east, mid-80s in the west. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
68 degrees right now. And a number of people texting into the Old National Bank Talk and Text line this morning. Old National Bank Get Old, talking about having seen the smoke somewhat on I-94, so considerably north of where this fire is happening. So we'd call it about Highway 100 and Morgan. So southwest corner of Milwaukee County, just before you would hit Waukesha County into the New Berlin area there in West Dallas. A lot of fire crews on scene through the morning. And just significant with this fire, why folks are reporting on it, is the smoke, for whatever reason. Eric and I have covered a lot of fires in person. You roll up and you can always smell fire in the air when you're at a house fire, structure fire, or something like that. Elaine Rojas Castillo from TMJ4 News was with us earlier, just all of us agreeing that there just seems to be a lot of smoke associated with a fire of this size.
She even said, she's like, this seems different.
Yeah.
Whether it's just because of the conditions that we're dealing with weather-wise, if it's because of the wildfires.
I wonder if it's maybe just because it's been a little bit humid. It's supposed to be humid today, and sometimes that smoke will just sort of hang in the air. Like that humidity almost pushes it down. I'm probably not explaining it scientifically correct, but you know what I mean? Like when you're out there and there's humidity, it's like
heavy.
Yeah, heavy, right. So a lot of smoke still in West Dallas this morning. Looks like things are well under control, and firefighters have not indicated any injuries of yet associated with this fire. We've got Jeff Levering, play-by-play man from the Milwaukee Brewers from Toronto, next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Greg Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, your destination to gear up for summer travel, score enticing offers, and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, or GM-certified pre-owned model. I'm confident you'll enjoy their simplified buying approach and award-winning guest care. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over Wisconsin, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Automotive, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Vince Vitrano here for Sister Bay Furniture. Really enjoying my couple of chairs and a little table that goes between them that we got new this spring from Sister Bay Furniture. It's super comfortable. It looks great on our back patio. It's a pleasure to sit in. But beyond that, it's super easy to care for. Somebody asked me the other day about how you clean it off. You just take out the hose with, get the nozzle, or maybe even do the thumb trick with the hose, get that spray going hard, and just hose that right down, and it's clean and ready to go. Sister Bay Furniture, built from sustainable materials, premium materials as well. And the great part about it is it's worry-free. You can leave it out all winter if you like. Definitely don't have to worry about bringing things back into the garage or somewhere inside your house to protect it from the weather, because it's built to sustain anything that Wisconsin Mother Nature can throw at it. You can customize your set. They've got experts there who can help you choose out what you're looking for your patio. Maybe it's sticking with the same type of theme. Maybe you want to change things up. They have different styles, different colors to pick, and you don't have to wait to a beautiful day to go out there to the showroom. They are located in Sussex on Executive Drive. You can visit the website if you want to shop ahead. It's sisterbayfurniture.com to see the entire selection. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
If the weather calls for rain, then the rain calls for mosquitoes. Keep them away with STEM. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to repel mosquitoes safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Brewers dropped game 1 of 3 against Toronto on Tuesday night. This one by a final score of 7-2. With the loss, the Brewers have now dropped 4 of their last 5 games and will look to rebound tonight against the Blue Jays. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ at 5:30.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, and on the line with us from Toronto, Canada, this morning is Jeff Levering. So, Jeff, 6:07 first pitch once again today from what used to be Sky Dome. I don't know what they call that place right now, but Eric and I were wondering about that 6:07 start time. Do you have any insight on that?
Well, I remember back in my old production assistant days, they would always say that the start time, and this was when I was working in Anaheim, they would always say it was an 05 start, but it was always an 07 start, and it's typically for television reasons.
Okay.
So if you say it's an 05 start, it's usually 07 just because it gives you that first segment, then you get a break, and then you really start at 6:07. If you're the Pirates, you say 6:05, they usually start about 6:08, 6:09. That's pretty typical situation for Pittsburgh, though. It's usually a TV deal.
Well, but Steve, now I listen when you're at home here, and sometimes when you're on the broadcast, people can overhear the inside the press box, who gives the game reports. Like, what's that title of the person? You know, first pitch, 6:07 p.m.
Yeah, he's our official. It's our official score.
Yeah, right. So the official score, you can sometimes hear him on the PA, and it seems like when we're at home here in Milwaukee, that first pitch is right on 7:10 or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, most teams do a pretty good job of saying when the scheduled time is and when you're starting. And that's usually a good thing, especially if you're a producer on the TV side and you're going, okay, well, this is when the anthem's going to be. You better play that anthem just in case if we're not covering it, we have it covered. We have it covered by some other content or a commercial break. So it's very good to be prompt. I'm a big fan of being prompt and on time.
Well, this is a fascinating discussion, don't you think, that I've led here, Jeff? I mean, anything to not talk about what's going on in the field of late. So I'm going to throw another one at you because you and I both work with Gina Della over at Pella. I hear your commercials, and so do a lot of folks listening. And someone texted in this morning. They want to know, ask Levering what he means by cornhole bags in his window commercial. Thanks. You talk about the extended cornhole bags.
Yeah, so I mean they're anti-draft bags, really. So you put them in the bottom of your door so that you don't get any drafts that come in, like the wind would come through. There's a little bit of a gap between your door and the floorboards. So we used to put those extended cornhole bags, right? And you get what I'm saying when I say that. They're usually filled with rice or corn or beans or whatever it is. But we would put those underneath our doors, and you wouldn't be having any drafts. Now we don't have to worry about that.
But no more, thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
You got that right. Absolutely right.
That'd make a fun game, though.
Bags, that's the first thing I threw away.
I would use those. Bring them to the tailgate.
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure. They would. They're a little brittle. They don't hold up very well if they hit the cement pavement. But that's all right. We don't need them anymore. They're obsolete.
So Craig Counsell was on with us yesterday, Jeff, and he said that Willy Adames looked like he had been in a fight. Is that true? Have you seen his face? Is he okay?
I have not seen him, no. So he was at the ballpark on Sunday after he got released from I forget the time of day this time of year and what day of the week it is, except when I talk to you guys, which is on Wednesdays. So he came to the ballpark on Sunday. I didn't get a chance to see him, but you can only imagine what that welt looks like from where he got hit. But the good news is that the swelling's going to go down. He's going to be fine. He still has a couple of tests to pass in order to get cleared to play. But he stayed back in Milwaukee. He is probably going to rejoin the team when we get back stateside to Cincinnati.
Brewers play-by-play man Jeff Levering. All right, interesting conversation this morning, Jeff. We learned a lot, don't you think?
I don't know if I learned a lot. Hopefully you learned something.
I sure did.
Right?
And so did all of the fans of Wisconsin's Morning News. Thanks, Level. We'll talk next week.
All right, see you guys.
Mark Tauscher joins us next.
Oh, sure. Milwaukee traffic's nothing, they said. You can get anywhere in 5 minutes, they said. I've been sitting here forever. Oh, wait, I know who can help out.
Looks like we've got a full freeway closure on 43 northbound, starting right about at Silver Spring. If you're caught in the backups, you want to exit at Hampton and make your way over to Highway 57.
Thanks, Debbie.
No problem, noble commuter. You can hear me mornings and afternoons on WTMJ.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Are you ready for a new shower this spring? Well, if you are, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
And no drafts. Don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
Traffic is sponsored by Miller Mobility, equipping seniors to remain living at home. Mention this ad and save 10% on stair lifts, scooters, lift chairs, bathroom safety, and more at Miller Mobility's Customer Appreciation Sale, June 9th and 10th. MillerMobility.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in on the roads here at 7:52, Deb.
All right, well, we got westbound 94 slowing down right out of the Marquette interchange through the stadium. The eastbound side slow out of the zoo through the stadium. Northbound on 4394 coming out of the Plainfield curve. You're heading up past Oklahoma Avenue. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze through there. Southbound on 43, pockets of heavy traffic coming in from Bender Road down past make that Silver Spring. Then it opens up. You're actually okay all the way to the Marquette. The northbound side, though, that's a different story. Slowing down right out of the Marquette up past Keefe and then back on the brakes from Capitol up past Hampton Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Next 3 days, carbon copy forecast, warm, humid, and sunny each afternoon with a chance for a pop-up rain shower or thunderstorm. High temperatures in the low to mid-80s near the lake, upper 80s inland. And for Saturday, mostly sunny and warm, high of 78 at the lake, 86 inland. Sunday, mostly sunny, 85 degrees, your high temperature, cooler near the lake. Right now, approaching 70 degrees in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
You know, I have a big mower. There's the 1 inch or it goes to the 5 inch. Do I go 5 inches so that I don't mow it all the way to the bottom and choke my mower?
Yeah.
Or do I go to the 1 inch?
Innovative.
Old National Bank talk and text line. Multiple suggestions to read the owner's manual.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Yeah, don't you kind of feel like that's cheating, though?
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and by Kohler Services. Tausch, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about whether or not this is still interesting to folks since Aaron Rodgers is no longer our quarterback. But I think everybody's interested in the soap opera and learning more details about how things went down over the last several years in Rodgers' relationship with the organization. I know you've seen the report out today from The Athletic suggesting that Rodgers' agent had called the Packers demanding that Brian Gutekunst get fired after he drafted Jordan Love. I guess my first question to you is, how do we know that's true or accurate?
Well, I mean, I think obviously when you're going to write an article, you're going to get sourcing and you're going to feel good about what you're putting out there. And the fact that Aaron is on the record here and can refute what he wants, he didn't refute that. And he can say, well, talk to my agent. that pretty much tells you that that's how it played out. And I think you can look back at a lot of things and figure out why this relationship went the way it did. And that night that Brian Gutekunst decided to trade up and draft Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers never felt like he could overcome that part of it. He could win MVPs. He could do all of this other stuff. And it was always going to be, I won or you won. And I don't know in this case if either person won. If Jordan Love is a great quarterback, Brian Gutekunst won. If he's not, did he really win this whole battle? So I do think that your first question was, do people still care? People don't want to care. People want to move on. But it's like when you're driving by. If you're just driving on a highway and there's an accident, everybody's kind of just hoping, okay, I hope everything works out. But you're also driving real slow, and you want to see what happened. That's what I think this article did, and I do think it's shed some light on how that whole situation played out from probably both sides of the equation, and I thought it was very fair to Aaron Rodgers.
You know, that's an interesting point, too, Tausch, because I would read that book if it came out and I had confidence in the reporting and the story that was sourced properly, as you indicate. I would read that book to find out exactly who said what, when, and how it all went down and how that ultimately affected the team that I love and watch every Sunday.
Yeah, listen, it's a big deal for everybody that loves the Green Bay Packers. And you have an MVP quarterback. You look back and think of how 2020 played out and that Aaron was blindsided by that pick. And when you're in an organization and you're a front-facing person that takes on as much as Aaron had to, you need to feel like the organization has your back. And once they did that and did it without letting him know, and I know we've talked about this numerous times, that trust was never going to reappear. And it felt like Aaron kind of made all right, it's me or him to Mark Murphy, and Mark Murphy went with Brian Gutekunst, and they to both of their credits, Aaron was able to play at an MVP level, an NFC championship game at home, number one seed in a playoff game against the 49ers. I just wish both parties would have been more communicative and honest and adult and said, you know what, you guys drafted this guy, I'm going to give you 2 years, then let's move forward. Don't give another $150 million contract. It was like they were afraid to really confront where they both were at, and that led to last season, which it was no good for anybody involved. Aaron wasn't happy. Obviously, the team didn't have success, and that led to this, which could have probably been a bigger haul of draft picks and everything else from the Packers side of it, and Aaron could have reset his second act somewhere else. I'm sure if both parties looked at it and will at some point, they could have said, you know what, we should have had this conversation after the 21 season, not this offseason.
What's so amazing is, had there been a book written about the Brett Favre situation, you'd have hoped Goody would have read it and not done the exact same thing over and over again.
Again, though, there's never going to be an easy end when you have a great player that wants to keep playing and you want to build the future. There's always going to be that angst, and I hope in 15 years we're having the same conversation about a 3 or 4-time MVP in Jordan Love, and I hope the New York Jets are the team that want to trade for him, because it would just be too sweet if that's not the case.
Have a great day, Tausch. Thanks, my friend.
You bet, guys.
Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan. Sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old.
A new development could be coming to Hales Corners after a 7-acre property on West Forest Home Avenue sold for $3.5 million. The buyer is hometown Hales Corners development firm, Wimmer Communities. 77 jobs will be lost with the closing of an LK Interior Systems plant in Fond du Lac. Milwaukee-based EIS North America runs the plant. June 20th is the opening date for a new Big Coffee location in Pewaukee. The Michigan drive-thru franchise was established in 2018 and opened a first Milwaukee area location in 2021 in Franklin. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Old National Bank is asking everyone to get old. But first, people have questions.
Will it take me years to get old?
No, getting old can literally happen in minutes.
Is getting old like a complicated process?
Not at all. Just stop into one of our banking centers or visit our website. We even have an app for that.
Will I look any different after I get old?
You may look happier and more relaxed with a banking partner like us.
Definitely want to get old.
Introducing Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Experience fast, affordable family fun at Elkhart Lakes Road America. With on-site camping, free parking, and free admission for kids 16 and younger, Road America offers world-class racing and so much more. From NASCAR to Indy to off-road UTV riding. You can even host your next company picnic or family reunion. Get the full race schedule at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Or call 800-365-7223. Road America, America's National Park of Speed.
This is WTMJ's Jeff Wagner here to tell you about Built Right Furniture's Memorial Day mattress sale, which has been extended. Shop the most unique selection with over 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Look, Built Right always saves you money. Don't make a mistake by ordering online or from an employee-free store. With Built Right's legitimate sale prices, you will get an exceptional value and a great night's sleep. Built Right does the research for you, and their team will take the time to help fit you. Built Right specializes in flippable two-sided mattresses and heavy-duty mattresses that hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, they offer free delivery on mattress-only purchases of $5.99 or more, and they'll remove your old mattress as well. Select model sets include a free mattress pad or a heavy-duty bed frame. Voted best place to shop and winner of the Home Furnishings Association's 2023 National Retailer of the Year Award. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday they're closed to be with family. When you get there, tell them WTMJ's Jeff Wagner sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Social Security benefits denied? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to taybackattorneys.com.
Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:02, a high of 88 degrees today. Inland, humid and sunny. A chance for a pop-up storm later on today. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. Let's get right to the roads and check in with Debbie Lazaga.
All right. Well, we've got some big delays along southbound 43, crossing over the Ozaki to Milwaukee County line, all the way down past Brown Deer Road. Now, I don't have any way to know exactly what it is that's causing this big delay, since the cameras are down there due to the construction. There is construction delays anyway, so if you happen to see something there, just give me a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line, 414-238-9329. Let me know what's going on. Otherwise, east and westbound 94 going to be heavy. Eastbound's going to take you about 16 minutes to get from the zoo into downtown. Westbound side's at 13 minutes. And then we've even got some delays along eastbound 894 between basically Highway 100 through the Hale past Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
An apartment complex fire in West Allis appears to be under control this morning as crews remain at the scene. This is near Highway 100 and Morgan. No word on how this fire started, but TMJ4's Elaine Rojas-Castillo tells Wisconsin's Morning News that many of the tenants were affected by the smoke.
I've seen people that are, all the neighbors that have come out, some have like towels over their mouths. You know, you can see people drinking water. It's a heavier smoke that you can see for miles, and it's definitely not something people want to be around if they can avoid it.
There have been no reports as of yet of any injuries. A Greenfield High School teacher resigns after an investigation discovered that he had an improper relationship with an 18-year-old student. The district sending out a letter about the matter earlier this week to parents. The teacher placed on administrative leave at first before resigning. Greenfield police say there's no evidence of a crime. Charges are not expected. The state's abortion ban would be tweaked under a package of measures being proposed by state Republican lawmakers. The measure would clarify that medical procedures designed to save a pregnant woman's life but could harm the unborn child don't qualify as abortion. Governor Evers would likely veto the measure. Another bill in the package would increase the tax exemption that parents can claim for each dependent from $700 to $1,000 and extend eligibility to parents of unborn children. In Washington, D.C., the debt ceiling compromise agreed upon by President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy goes to the House floor for a vote later today. CBS's Jared Hill.
The agreement suspends the nation's borrowing limit through early 2025 in exchange for things like cuts to IRS funding, tighter restrictions on food stamps, and energy permitting reform. But a growing number of House Republicans have threatened to vote no, arguing the bill doesn't go far enough to rein in federal spending.
Milwaukee Congresswoman Gwendolyn Moore tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that she's not happy with the deal. However, GOP Congressman Brian Stile and Derek Van Orden have both said that they support it. Others in the Wisconsin congressional group have yet to make a determination on how they will vote later today. A stark warning from hundreds of tech insiders that AI technology, if allowed to develop unchecked, could lead to mass extinctions, not unlike a nuclear war or a pandemic. ABC's Trevor Ault has more.
It's just a one-sentence statement, but it goes far beyond just saying AI could be dangerous. It says mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war.
350 tech insiders signed on to the statement, including the CEOs of Google's AI division, Microsoft, and the head of the ChatGPT technology. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:06.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures now open Saturdays 10 to 4.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With cold weather fading, it's time to spruce up your home with new lights and ceiling fans. Our huge showroom displays all the finest brands, such as Visual Comfort, Hubbardton, Hudson Valley, Fanimation, and hundreds more. Whether it's the newest LEDs or more conventional styles, we get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. Trade in your old shades and get an extra 20% off. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids. BBC is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near the Potawatomi Casino. Shop Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday from 10 to 4. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
A wiser way to build your wealth.
A wiser way to build your wealth starts with choosing a financial planning firm that is fee only, because it means they work for you. Fee-only firms like Financial Strategies, Inc. don't work for a bank or brokerage firm or an insurance company or mutual fund company, because we don't want our decisions for your best interests compromised in any way. We work for you, and only in your best interest. And fee-only means the success we care about most is yours. Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee-only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm. And I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial Strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Milwaukee Brewers dropped Game 1 of 3 against the Toronto Blue Jays on Tuesday night. This one by a final score of 7-2. Adrian Hauser got the start for the Brew Crew, tossing 4 1/3 innings while surrendering 6 earned runs. With the loss, the Brewers have now dropped 4 of their last 5 games and will look to rebound tonight against the Blue Jays. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ at 5:30. Over to the NBA, where the Bucks are staying busy as they look ahead to next season. The team has set out to hire former Bucks assistant Adrian Griffin, who will replace Mike Budenholzer as head coach, according to NBA insider Shams Charania. It was quite the process for the Bucks, who sought out the advice from their 2-time MVP.
The fact that Giannis was so involved in the process, a couple years out from his player option, I think is very noticeable. From what I'm told, Giannis was pretty vehemently against any other candidate.
The NBA Finals begin Thursday night in Denver with the Nuggets hosting the Miami Heat. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Well, we got a new problem on 94 eastbound, just east of Highway 83. We got looks like 2 left lanes blocked with a crash that is got a lot of emergency crews on scene. So that is backing up past Highway 83. We've also got a little bit of a backup along the ramp from Highway 16 to eastbound 94. We've also got some delays along from from the Zoo interchange through the Stadium interchange. That's going to be a slow ride there. We've also got the backups on 43 southbound coming in from Mequon Road all the way down past Brown Deer Road. Very slow speeds through that area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor services all makes and models and carries high-performance compressors with a lifetime warranty. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Warm and humid today. Sunny, a high of 88 inland, a chance for a pop-up storm. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 61. Thursday, same thing. Warm and humid, chance for a pop-up storm, high of 88. Friday, warm and humid, chance for a pop-up storm, high of 88. Saturday, sunny and warm, no rain in the forecast through the weekend. Saturday, a high of 86. Sunday, sunny, a high of 85. Right now in Madison, it is 71 degrees. Green Bay is currently 71. Waukesha, 75. And in Milwaukee, 69. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:11.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Just about 8:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Wednesday morning. Greg Pancake Hill produces the program. Eric Bilstead, Vince Vitrano here with you until 9 o'clock. Isn't what we are seeing and hearing out of Washington this morning the very definition of compromise? And isn't it what we say we want? We spend a lot of time, sometimes in jest because everything's a little bit funny, Eric, discussing the dysfunction of our politics, be it in Washington, Madison, local level, right? And one thing we hear from people all the time, whether it's on the Old National Bank talk and text line or folks who call in, is, why can't these lawmakers get together and find a way to compromise and move things forward? What happens, however, is it appears we don't mean what we say, or at least our elected officials don't see it that way, because what we really seem to mean is, yes, let us reach a compromise by making the other side see it exactly our way and give us everything we're asking for. That's not compromise. And what I'm hearing out of Washington this morning in regard to the debt ceiling deal, which is scheduled to come up for a vote today in the House, I have no idea what's going to happen there. But as we predicted, a lot of folks aren't happy with it. And to me, that should fit the definition of compromise.
But aren't those that are unhappy with it the ones that we know are going to be unhappy with it, and they know they can throw the verbal grenades because they know it will likely pass with their other congressional colleagues voting in favor of the bill?
Talked about that if you were listening yesterday about what I called moving day in Washington, because you had the deal that was struck over the weekend when nobody was around, and lawmakers were going to come back to work on Tuesday after the long holiday weekend and read the document, the 99-page legislation, and then the vote would be scheduled for today. So they would have this day in there to do exactly what you said, to posture in one direction or another. And I liken
Which,
that
by
to
the way, is what politics do. But
yes, liken that to be analogous to golf on the Saturday of a 4-day tournament. They call that moving day because people jockey for various positions. It's not really about who's leading or what position you're in on Saturday. It's about where you end up on Sunday and even at least start the day, and then how that ultimately plays out for the championship. So I kind of labeled Tuesday as moving day. All right, here's the deal. But now we're all going to get a look at the leaderboard. Who's here, who's leading factions, who's opposed, who's for. And then today is Championship Wednesday in Washington. Do they get this thing passed? I have no idea. Because you have a deal that's been brokered, and we're going to talk a little bit about the logistics of that and why some people are opposed to even the manner in which this thing was created. But this deal's been brokered in a small room with a few people. But so if you have members of Congress now start to monkey with it, adding amendments or other things, then that becomes not the deal that the sides originally agreed on. It is the process. I'm not saying they don't have a right to do it, but that would certainly put in jeopardy any sort of deal that, as we approach the June 5th deadline for raising the debt ceiling, becomes rather precarious. Right on cue, as we said, members of Congress voicing various oppositions to the deal that was struck to raise that debt ceiling for another 2 years in exchange for a number of spending limits and a laundry list of other Republican priorities. To be honest, members on both sides of the aisle are not only unhappy with details of the 99-page legislation, not enough for some Republicans, way too much for many Democrats. Some are even upset with the manner in which the deal was struck. Series of meetings with the top brokers, being President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, both of whom are now working hard to get support for the plan, for the agreement that they reached. Let's get to ABC's Justin Finch. He'll get us quickly up to speed.
Many progressive Democrats and conservative Republicans are coming out against the deal, each accusing their leadership of making too many concessions. Still, the Republican-led House Rules Committee cleared the measure for a floor vote. The bill calls for suspending the debt ceiling until January 2025, clawing back $30 billion in COVID relief, rescinding $20 billion in IRS funding, ending the federal student loan repayments freeze in August, and adding new work requirements for some Americans on food assistance.
I don't know. He sounds like a lot of things that Republicans wanted in that deal.
But nothing is ever perfect, and everyone has to posture. Everyone has to do their thing, and it's not just those hardliners on the right. There's some hardliners on the left, too, like you were talking about. And that's what they do.
It sort of seems ultimately, though, right now the Republican Party is far more fractured in terms of who's willing to really buck up against the leadership. Now, there's some pushback against President Biden, but I feel like Democrats would ultimately fall in line when they get there, that maybe this is more posturing for them. Might not be the case on the right side of the aisle here. Number of Republicans talking about that. Now, here in Wisconsin, Republican Brian Stiles supports it, checking his Twitter feed, calling it a step in the right direction.
Yep.
You had our guy from La Crosse area, western Wisconsin.
Van Orden.
Also saying, yep.
He's in. Actually, he was frustrated. According to the Journal Sentinel, he was frustrated with the hardliners yesterday holding that news conference.
Yes.
He didn't think that was helping anything.
So that's members of the Republican delegation here in Wisconsin. Others still deciding when asked.
Gwen Moore said she didn't like it.
Yeah, I got more on her in a second.
Okay.
Other Republicans, though, not on board, not sure if they'll get there. Senator Rand Paul, R. Kentucky.
I think the Biden-McCarthy debt deal is a disaster for the country.
Disaster for the country, so he's out, right? Not like,
All
there's some stuff in here. There's disaster for the nation. Another Republican from Florida, Congressman Byron Donalds.
He's the Speaker of the House, and so that's the guy that we're with. We're going to roll with him. That's my opinion. That's my viewpoint. But am I happy about this deal? No.
Okay, he doesn't like it either. Dems not happy. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat, Massachusetts.
I'm still reading. So
thank you, guys.
I gotta go through all the details. Every time you turn over the rock, there's something else slimy under it.
Yeah, slimy under the rocks. And this rotten deal is the worst. Disaster, slimy. So I don't know. This, for me, kind of meets the definition of what compromise should feel like, right? If you walk away feeling really super great about everything, there wasn't a compromise, right?
The lemonade has to taste a little bit sour.
Yeah, for everybody. If you're the only one tasting the sour, then you got had, right? And that's not a compromise. By the same token, if you feel great about everything, probably you didn't give enough, and this thing wouldn't have a chance to pass. You mentioned Gwen Moore, 4th Congressional District here in Wisconsin. She's not happy with it. This is what she told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Here's her. And we picked on her earlier today for her lavish pack where she's buying lobsters for everybody and whatever else. But here's her quote in the paper. I can't say I'm happy. Moore, a Milwaukee Democrat, told Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel when asked about the deal. I mean, I haven't really had much sleep or rest. Not one piece of barbecue this weekend. Didn't do my rounds on Memorial Day like I wanted to. But I'm in a better place, so I'm going to talk to some of my colleagues. So feel bad for your congresswoman. She didn't get enough barbecue over the weekend because she had to, work on the debt ceiling.
But really, are any of these people working?
Right. I don't know. And actually, I've been around. It's been a while since I've seen the congresswoman, but I actually covered her inauguration in Washington back in 2004. Does that sound right? And so I don't know in what spirit she offered that. I don't know that she was really suggesting that she was bent out of shape. She didn't get barbecue over the weekend, or if that's just...
It just reads funny.
Right. It reads funny, but she might have said it in jest if I can defend her even slightly. So, quick aside here.
Yeah.
I'm covering this thing in Washington, okay? So Congresswoman Moore graduated from Marquette University a long time ago. And so she was being hosted at the Les Aspin Center in Washington on the eve of her inauguration, or maybe it was just after. So she's first African-American elected to Congress for the state of Wisconsin. Real proud moment for the state, for her. And the Les Aspin Center is a Marquette installation there on Capitol Hill.
Okay.
And people go there, and it's also, I don't know if they do some think tanky things, but it's meant to serve students also who are working in Washington, who have Marquette ties. So she's there, and if you can imagine who would be at a crowd in a reception for something like this with Marquette University, a lot of priests, a lot of religious types, a lot of highfalutin university types, and she's there on this very proud moment for her, and the Congresswoman-elect, eventually the Congresswoman, had quite an entourage with her. A lot of folks were around, including person who I don't think it was her ex-husband, the father of one of her children.
Okay.
And he was there. They have a good relationship. He was there to support her. But she gets up in front of this whole crowd, all these priests and whatever. I want to thank this person. I want to thank that person. I swear to you, she said, I want to thank my baby daddy for coming all the way here to be with us today. And you see these priests almost on their collar like, oof, So the Congresswoman will say what she's going to say from time to time. That's my Gwen Moore story. But, for those decrying these handshake deals and the fact that this was brokered among leadership and the president in the room where it happens, that's why that thing was significant in Hamilton. You want to be in the room where it happens, but that means you're part of just a select few who have to broker these deals. You can't put 100 senators.
But here's the problem, and you mentioned this earlier, that you wonder if, the Democrats might complain a little bit, but ultimately will likely vote for it. Senator Baldwin, a spokesperson, told the paper today, she's reviewing it, but hasn't said yes or no yet. But ultimately, the expectation is that they're going to sign off on it. Is there a concern that too many are well, I want to posture, but then posture becomes reality on the Republican side, where if you have too many, I mean, there's always that select group that gets to posture and complain about things in any bill or measure so they can look good for their constituents, ultimately knowing that the bill's going to pass anyway, right?
Yes.
If you have a snowball effect today of too many that need to posture, if you will, is that going to run into a problem, or we're going to be defaulting here on June 5th?
I think a difference is you will have some Democratic support, if not unanimous, certainly in the House. So you'll have Republicans.
Unlikely unanimous, but yeah.
Right. You'll have Republicans and Democrats who are both voting for this. So that lessens the influence of that far-right faction or the Freedom Caucus or others who held up the McCarthy vote for how long.
Right.
And they really flexed their muscle and their power in doing so. So you're right. That can have an actual impact on the vote. It'll be interesting to see, without this going along party lines, so to speak, what those numbers, what the math actually looks like. But I just wonder, you can't have everybody in the room broker the deal. So you got to, for me, you elect your elected officials. They put their trust in the leadership that they elect. And I'm not saying blindly get on board with every action, but to me, this is what compromise looks like. You get some things you like. Some things don't feel so good, but we move forward. And I commend the leadership of both parties for putting together a package that seems to offer some hurt and some victory for each side. 8:23 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince Vitrano here from Wisconsin's Morning News, here to tell you for the first time ever, you can download our show wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen, you can listen to us now too. Listen time and time again to your favorite segments like Super Plow, The Legend of Sean Wen.
So I got on the phone and I called Sean Wen. I said, Sean, I need some help.
Fake promos. And more.
Why, in all that is holy, is that not?
Why isn't that the promo?
That's a great question. Keep up with us on Wisconsin's Morning News wherever you get your podcasts. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We had an interesting conversation with our man Jeff Levering, who is also a Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin devotee. So maybe if you hear Levo's commercials from time to time, he talks about how with his old drafty windows and doors, they had the extended cornhole bags. And we actually had a question. Someone texted in saying, what's Levering mean when he talks about extended cornhole bags? He meant his old windows and doors were so drafty, they would stuff those like beanbag things in the open gaps.
Yeah, just like long ones, like 2.5 foot long ones.
To prevent the draft. If that is happening at your house, do what Jeff and I both did. Call Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Talk to our friend Gina Della at Pella today. No more drafty house, and they have beautiful new windows and doors that are available for you. And if you've been putting this off, don't wait any longer. Great deal going right now. Last day this deal is being offered in its current form at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. 0% interest for 48 months. That offer good through today, May 31st. Certain restrictions do apply. You can visit the showroom in Brookfield if you like to open the doors, open the windows, see how everything works, see it in person. You can shop online ahead of time at PellaWI.com.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize them, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. Here at Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you're not getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
In Wisconsin, making memories together is for everyone, whatever your ability. So here's to soaking up surf culture right here on Wisconsin's Fresh Coast. To making time for stargazing as a family. And to imaginations cleared for takeoff. Here's to festies with besties. And singing along to your favorite song. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Well, we got some problems along eastbound 94, just east of Highway 83. The two left lanes look to be blocked, or at least the left lane is blocked. Everybody's way over on the right shoulder trying to get around this thing. It's a crash, and we've got emergency vehicles there. Now, of course, everybody on the westbound side has to slow down to take a look, so that's an issue there. And then we have finally got some information about what's going on 43.
Hey, Debbie, so driving 43 southbound, just got past Brown Deer Road, and there's a semi pulled over to the side of the road. Once you get past there, it seems to clear up a bit.
There you have it. Thank you so much for calling into the traffic tip line. And everything else seems to be your typical stuff. East and westbound 94 through the stadium going to be heavy. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
8:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News. A couple folks texting in on the Old National Bank talk and text line this morning on our debt ceiling conversation. I think it's a compromise doesn't feel 100% good. I think there's a lot good in here no matter which side of the aisle you're on. And it seems like a lot of folks in Washington don't agree.
From 262 on the Old National Bank talk and text line, this is not a compromise. It's a Republican capitulation.
So if I understand that correctly, this texter is suggesting that Republicans aren't getting enough in the deal. Does that sound, am I reading that right?
Sure.
I'm curious to that. They didn't get everything they wanted, right? But there was a laundry list of things that were there, and it's causing many Democrats to say, way too much, we're giving away the store. If that's their reaction, I don't necessarily see it that way. It's not everything Republicans wanted, no. And if you're on that side of the aisle, you were left with other things that you wanted to see happen.
From Gail and Tosa, it's their own fault they didn't get this done sooner and have a holiday. McCarthy tried, Biden and the Democrats wouldn't do it any sooner.
I like this one. This is not, oh wait, where was it? Somebody suggesting they throw in debt limits.
Or congressional term
limits.
Yeah, I like that.
Sneak that one in and see what happens.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. Half the group would have to leave tomorrow. Oh, shoot. I guess I'm now retired.
Do we have an indication of the timing and when things start to go down here?
I had heard this evening was the anticipated votes. So
got to leave some time for debate, right?
Yeah, oftentimes you'll have quite a few speakers, and then if other things get thrown in there and having to kind of wade through that mess. So anticipated vote this evening, but we should get a locked-in time here as the day moves on.
Yield to the gentleman from Wisconsin, yield to the gentle lady from Massachusetts, yield to, okay, render my time.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit of that, a little bit of complaining.
A little bit of yielding, a little bit of statement making. So you think this evening for the vote? Well, keep an eye on that, obviously. And then if you clear this hurdle, then it moves over to the Senate.
Yep.
And it's got to be the same
Senator
thing.
Johnson says he's probably a no. That's what he told the paper.
We'll see when it comes time to yay or nay on that one. 8:29 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:30 for Matzik's Morning Minute. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds.
One pitch, Weimer drives one deep into left center field. Forget about it. 1-0 Milwaukee.
Mondays and Fridays at 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We are so excited and honored. Host the draft in 2025. It's a huge event. It's going to be spectacular.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
Spas! The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only at the Wisconsin State Fair Cream Puff Pavilion. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tub spas and saunas. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only at the Wisconsin State Fair Park Cream Puff Pavilion. Visit 800spasale.com.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Are you ready to amp up your life and rock a new career? Potawatomi Casino Hotel is holding a hiring jam session for the new Rock and Brews restaurant. Come meet your future team members in the Tailgate House at American Family Field on June 12th, 14th, and 15th. Here's the hook. There are on-the-spot job offers.
Excellent!
Choose from a variety of restaurant positions. It's time to rock and roll and build your new future. Apply today at careers.paysbig.com.
8:32 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Momentarily, we'll get you up to date on that fire in West Dallas. I know a lot of folks saw that from the freeway or Highway 100 today, so this would be about Highway 100 and Morgan, thereabouts, Eric?
Yes.
And a lot of smoke associated with that. In fact, we heard from folks as far north as I-94 coming in saying, wait, what's with the smoke there in the southwest corner of Milwaukee County? So I want to get you up to date on that. WTMJ breaking news time, 8:32. Here's Eric.
Yeah, large fire near Highway 100 in Morgan. There it is.
Man, did I just do that to you?
Apartment complex caught fire there. So as of now, it appears it is under control. We have not heard yet on how this started or if there are any injuries, but the smoke was the issue. Lots of people struggling. What be it the conditions that we're dealing with today with the humidity, but the smoke really struggled to dissipate, which caused some issues. So keeping an eye on that, but yeah, it appears that the fire itself is
So I've been
control.
on both sides of this, as the reporter out on the scene and also as the anchor on the news desk.
Yeah.
And as the reporter, you would sometimes, especially if it's breaking news and you're just on scene and you don't have a lot of information yet, like
Yes.
I just got here. Basically, you're prepared to do a scene setter, as we would call
Sure,
it. So just
yeah.
tell me what you see and then send it back, because you don't want to speculate, you don't want to whatever. So the anchor would say, there's a large fire, it's been burning for hours, it's at this thing, here's the location, yada, 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 4, 5, 6 sentences. TMJ4's Vince Vitrano joins us live from the scene now, and you want to say, you said it all, back to you. Thanks a lot.
But I am here.
So I did that to you, and I apologize.
No big deal.
My sincerest apology.
In Washington, the House is expected to vote today on a debt ceiling deal. Food truck regulation will be considered by the Milwaukee Common Council, and a stark warning from hundreds of tech insiders that AI technology, if not regulated properly, could lead to mass extinctions, not unlike a nuclear war. 350 tech insiders signing on to a statement, including the CEOs of Google's AI division, Microsoft, and the head of the ChatGPT technology, calling for a pause, 6-month pause in regulation and development of AI technology. Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is down 176, the NASDAQ starting down 31, and the S&P is starting down 18. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Debbie Lozga looking at the road.
Okay, a few issues going on right now. Eastbound 94, just past Highway 83, we've got an accident that's got the left lane blocked. Everybody's squeezing over on the far right. Lots of emergency crews on the scene, and things are stretching back all the way back to about Sawyer Road and growing, so be prepared for those backups. Also along 94 eastbound, just about at 84th Street, we've got an accident off on the right shoulder. Looks like it's a semi involved with this one, and that's going to be tying things up just a bit. Southbound on 43, things getting a little bit better between Mequon Road and Brown Deer, where we had that earlier disabled semi that was pulled over the side of the road that was basically through the construction zone that was making things icky. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Built Right Furniture, Leather and Mattresses.
For affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses, you've got to get to Built Right today. Built Right Furniture saves you money. 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Warm and humid today, sunny, a high of 88 with a chance for a pop-up storm. Same thing the next couple of days. Thursday, same thing. Friday, same thing. Warm, humid, highs in the upper 80s with a chance for a pop-up storm. Saturday looks dry, sunny and warm, a high of 86. Sunday, sunny and a high of 85. Right now in Milwaukee, 74. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:35.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
What's the way to build your wealth?
While going over a new client's statements from one of the big financial firms, I was floored when I read that firm does not offer tax or estate planning advice. Because we know that saving money for our clients on their taxes, legally and well within the law, can make a huge difference in their financial plan. If you want to wisely build your wealth, it is my firm opinion that without a comprehensive approach, you're going to be at a big disadvantage. At Financial Strategies, Inc., we're taking a deep dive and creating comprehensive strategies that develop your retirement, investment, and your tax and estate planning. And all under a fee-only structure that means the success we care about most is yours. I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
What's my favorite story of the day from yesterday? As soon as it popped up on the TVs,
I know.
It was happening. I'm like, ooh, this is great.
Pothole Patrol. Underway. It was back.
We fixed the damn roads.
Governor Tony Evers on his statewide pothole patrol. He was actually in our area on Brown Deer Road, about 51st and Brown Deer. He has a little highway crew vest on and everything. And he was, I'll give him credit, the shovel was in the hot mix asphalt there.
Mm-hmm.
One piece of video I saw, he was using the tamper.
Yeah.
It's that big
Gotta
thing.
level
It's got
that
like,
out.
Yeah, it's got like a, about chest-high pole on it, right? And then on the bottom is big hunk of metal that's flat, and you use that to tamp down whatever you got.
Mm-hmm.
So he was out there with the road crew fixing the potholes.
I think he's out again today in different parts of the state. He's been doing this through last week, I want to say.
Milwaukee to Rhinelander yesterday.
Yeah.
They really liked it. They thought it was good. They had the news station up there did a whole story on it. But they never talked to the governor for the story. They talked to this neighbor. He's like, yeah, we got a lot of potholes here. This is great.
I'm glad he's here.
I'm like, can just see the guy coming back. And if you're WJFW, I think is the NBC in Rhinelander. So that's a first job territory, right? Send the guy out. Yeah, so what did the governor say? I don't know. I didn't talk to him. What do you mean you didn't talk to the governor? I don't know. This neighbor, he was really good sound.
So you didn't ask the governor about the marijuana situation
Right.
or the budget?
Abortion legislation, anything, budget, they're still working. Nah, but Jim over here on Pleasant View was really impressed with the pothole operation. That's going again. Yes, you mentioned he's still doing this. He'll be in the La Crosse and Eau Claire areas, actually starting in Chippewa Falls at noon, on Alaska, just outside of La Crosse at 1:45. That tells you how much work the governor's actually putting in, though. It's about an hour and a half drive between those two communities, and the press events are less than 2 hours apart. So that's about 2-3 shovels of asphalt. Take some questions, and we're in the car.
They don't fire up the chopper for that?
I wouldn't think so. No, you got to drive on the roads to talk about the roads, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose.
On this quality infrastructure that he has built.
We fix the damn roads.
Mostly just an excuse to play that bite.
I get it. All right, this
If my intelligence is artificial, then why am I smarter than you?
big story. Artificial intelligence is getting an update now. This one concerns me, I have to admit.
More than the others?
Saw this one coming a mile away, but yes, for whatever reason, it does concern me more than the others. Perhaps this is just another warning sign, but a stark warning from hundreds of tech insiders that AI technology, if allowed to develop unchecked, could lead to mass extinctions, not unlike a nuclear war or a pandemic. So I'm talking hundreds of insiders and tech execs, like the CEO of the Google AI division, the head of the ChatGPT technology, other tech giants. Elon Musk has also gotten on board with this. The Apple co-founder saying, look, it's time to pause development of AI. We need a 6-month pause of our AI development.
This comes from the Center for AI Safety, which has warned of several worst-case scenarios, like somebody using AI to build chemical weapons or to generate disinformation that destabilizes society. In fact, they even warn of a future where humans depend on AI. We can't care for ourselves. And the quote is similar to the scenario portrayed in the film WALL-E. They think that's a real threat.
There's a world outside of Yonkers.
You ever see WALL-E?
I did. It's a great film.
Very pretty and gorgeous. And they're all too big to take care of themselves.
Yeah, everybody's
They
out on
rely
this
on the AI.
Floaty chairs.
Yeah,
Yep.
this space cruise ship, because we trashed the planet and they couldn't live here anymore. So they're out on the space cruise ship, but nobody has a job. Nobody has to work because everything's AI and
Yeah,
robotics.
all the robots do everything. And
So
that-
everybody's like 7,000 pounds.
So that's part of the concern, is that we're going to become that. We'll rely on the AI while it's sucking our energy. What would they need us for then?
Well, then if you want to go next level, then we get end up in like larva form, right? Fueling the AI.
Yeah, a little
right?
Matrix action.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the end of WALL-E, right,
not
Debbie,
funny.
Everything becomes back to normal at the end of WALL-E. No spoiler, right? But we learn to take care of ourselves again.
Yeah, that's the general idea, because they found the plant. Whatever that
Yes,
means.
there's a plant there.
Yes. The Earth could once again sustain life.
So anyway, I do find it very interesting, though, that they want all the governments around the world, hey, if there's any bad actors who aren't willing to do the pause, can you help us with that? So I think what we're seeing here is several execs say, hey, look, I'm all in for pausing, but I want to make sure that guy is and that lady is also. They also need to pause, not just me.
So there's one challenge. The other challenge I see is find me something else in human history that is a precedent for us throttling back on the development of technology. We keep, even though we talk about it, and we had Jim Ryan from ABC News on this morning talking about this, and he cited nuclear weapons as an example of, we all think the world would be better if we didn't have nukes, but you got nukes and I got nukes and they got nukes, and so we can make all the agreements and sign on the dotted lines, but you're still not fully trusting that other people are cooperating. So we keep developing the nukes, and the technology gets stronger and stronger and stronger to the point of how many times over that we could destroy the Earth. And the same thing will play out here. Like we as humans cannot not continue to develop.
You're absolutely right. Think about space exploration, same type of deal, right? So, but I don't know.
I'm starting to tire of these letters, though. Like everybody's signing the letters.
Someone's got to do something now, though. Like now you got to act.
Okay, we heard you.
Okay, I mean
you're all afraid of what you're still creating.
I think Capitol Hill has proven today that you can't rely on them, Musk, and at all.
Let's get a little compromise bill laid out there.
Why don't you guys maybe build the legislation yourself, send it over there, give them some money, and say, hey, can you do this for us? And then they'll do it. Then they'll act on it. Finally, this story. I don't know if you saw the video of this. Trouble between the U.S. and China now.
More trouble.
Yeah, more trouble. A U.S. fighter jet involved in a midair incident over the South China Sea.
Chinese fighter jet approaches. It then roars past the nose of the U.S. plane, forcing the U.S. pilots to bounce through the turbulence caused by the fighter jet's wake. The Chinese say the U.S. should not be sending reconnaissance planes, but this was in international airspace.
Yeah, so apparently it was a U.S. spy plane, and you can see in the video that, like, the co-pilot just took with an iPhone, it looked like, of this Chinese fighter jet just zipping in front of it, and then all of a sudden the whole cockpit shakes because they feel the jet wash.
Yeah, well, everybody remembers that from Top Gun.
Yeah, absolutely, they do.
That's what did in Goose.
There's no flat spin or anything like that.
Right.
They handled it all right.
But right, when you've got a jet coming by it, however fast it was, I mean, speed of sound or whatever, right in front of you.
It's close.
Right, it leaves a wake in the atmosphere, so to speak, that you don't necessarily see, but you definitely feel in that turbulence.
U.S. Frustrated by this, saying this is an act of aggression, way too aggressive, didn't need to happen. Chinese says, hey, what are you doing with a spy plane this close? So there we go.
Well, international airspace is international airspace.
Yeah.
So if we were over the line there, I would say, okay, go up there and harass a little bit, and I'd be fine with that. But if you're in international airspace, I just don't get China's play here.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of if you're ever in a fishing boat and you fish off of someone else's property and they throw a fit because your fishing boat is too close to their property, like they own the water.
Right.
They don't own the water.
That's a perfect analogy. Oh, this year's my pier area. Right.
I still think I can drop a line here if I want to.
8:46 on Wisconsin's Morning News. We got a local spelling champion in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. We'll update his progress as that is ongoing. That story next.
Well, things are backing up still along 94 eastbound. We do have an accident at Highway 80, just past Highway 83. The left lane still blocked. Things are backing up all the way back towards Sawyer Road, so keep that in mind. We've also got eastbound an accident at about 84th Street. Off on the right shoulder, a semi involved with that. Southbound on 43, slowing down from Brown Deer Road, pretty much all the way down past Silver Spring, almost to Hampton Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Vince Vitrano here for Tri-County Contracting, the company that I trusted on top of my roof to give me a worry-free roof tune-up. See, maybe all you need is a little bit of work to make your current roof last. You don't expect to get these folks out there and say, hey, you need a whole new roof. Maybe you got a relatively new roof, but you also don't know what might be damaged up there, and that's where Tri-County can help. The worry-free roof tune-up is just $650. And it doesn't matter what size of home or roof you have. You get Chuck and his guys out there from Tri-County. They'll get up on top of your roof, give you a full roof inspection. They'll replace missing or damaged shingles. They give you fresh caulking and sealing around vents and flashing. And my roof, I have one of those pipes that come up. I don't know, it's an exhaust pipe of some kind. Don't know what it does, but I do know it's supposed to have a topper to it, right? Something that covers it up so the elements and the critters don't get inside. Well, that was gone. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't gotten Tri-County up there for that worry-free roof tune-up. So they replaced that, and definitely peace of mind there. You can extend the life of your roof with the worry-free roof tune-up from Tri-County. Give them a call, Tri-County Contracting. WI.com is how to find them on the web.
Hunger Task Force is Milwaukee's free and local food bank, working to feed people today and end future hunger. Hunger Task Force believes every person has the right to healthy food obtained with dignity. We deliver justice for people in need and focus on equitable access to foods that respect the diet, religion, and personal preferences of families who need help. We serve children, families, and seniors with compassion and demonstrate excellent stewardship of community resources to build a stronger Milwaukee. Visit hungertaskforce.org to donate, volunteer, or raise your voice to end hunger in our community.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at ACCUNET.com.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6-pack 0.5-liter bottles or 6-pack 7.5-ounce mini cans Coke products, 4 for $17. 32-ounce box Cremette pasta, 2 for $5. 13.1 to 16-ounce meals or 15-ounce bowls Hungry Man meals or dinner bowls, 2 for $7. 5 to 8-ounce package Sargento deli-style sliced cheese, 2 for $5.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
So in the words of my late friend Aretha Franklin, show some R-E-S-P-I-C-T.
R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-C-T, take F-T-C-T.
Yeah, something like that. 8:51 on Wisconsin's Morning News. The Scripps National Spelling Bee is underway. We have one contestant from here in Wisconsin.
Yes, and he's made it to the quarterfinals.
Nice.
So the quarterfinals are tomorrow. They do have some prime time spelling tonight and then prime time again tomorrow. So we'll see how he does. His name is Aiden Wajakulasara. He's from Madison, and he had a couple of words he had to spell. He had to actually do 3 different things. He had to spell the word, let me make sure I pronounce this correctly, Bahavrihi.
Never heard that word. Never in my life.
Of compound words whose meanings follow the formula, having a B that is an A. It's a compound word. Baharivri means having much rice. You want to give it a shot or no?
No, that wouldn't even like BAH. That's as far as I get.
So far, you're right. UVRIHI.
Yep. Nope. Wouldn't have got it.
So he got that one right. Then he had to. What do you have to do next? He had to pretty much define the word meridian. The question was, what is a meridian? And he had to give an answer to that. And his answer was a great circle of the celestial sphere passing through its poles and the zenith. So 7th grader got that one right.
Evidently that was correct. Asking for a friend. I obviously know what meridian means.
And then finally...
See, I was confused with median earlier.
So,
you hear people say that sometimes. Oh, yeah, that car was up on the meridian there.
Did I say median? I meant to say meridian.
Yeah, he wiped out right there. They had to get the wrecker out to get...
They got to build a stronger meridian here. So he's in 7th grade. He's done this before.
Had to call Sean Went to get him out of there.
He a great speller. And he spelled his last word correctly, too. So the last word was burpee.
Burpee. B-U-R-P-E-E. Burpee. Correct.
So
okay,
that
one everyone listening would have gotten, right? Everyone would have spelled that right.
Burpee?
Yeah.
What is the origin? What's the word origin for burpee? Is there an I in there? I-E?
I suppose you could go I-E at the end.
All I ever think of when I think of burpees is Coach Mr. Penrod, my gym teacher in freshman year. Hey, Bill Stead, burpees. Got to do 20 burpees.
Oh, Penrod.
He weighed a good 3 1/4.
That's the devil's exercise, I tell you what.
Yeah, that's the thing. People do it at the gym, right?
Yeah.
That's where you drop down and kick out or something like that.
Yep.
It's a great one. It's a great one, but Debbie's right.
What's his name? Penrod?
Penrod, yeah.
What do you say, Penrod?
Come on. Bill Stead, get down there.
Well, instead.
So Aiden is back today. So like I told you, he was 51st a couple of years ago in the spelling bee. He's back for a second round. He's made it through to the quarterfinals. He's pretty confident.
I'm feeling a lot more confident. I don't have a lot of expectations, but my goal was just because before last time I came here, I got through 3 rounds. So by getting through these 3 rounds, I'm proud of where I am, and whatever happens next, I'm okay with.
How about that?
Right, giving a skilled interview as well.
Love it.
Nice job, young man. So we've got today and tomorrow yet.
Today and tomorrow. And I'll give you this because I just love these. There's always a couple throughout the years of people who misspelled a word, a young boy or girl who misspelled a word, and they're just frustrated. And they're like, This one always stuck out to me. Here's a kid who thought he had the word correct.
Kabaragoya.
Kabaragoya. I know it. I totally know it. Okay. Kabaragoya. Cabaragoya. Kabaragoya. What?
Kabaragoya is spelled Kabaragoya.
You were wrong from the get-go.
WTMJ's Steve Scafidi.
I'm not hard on men. I'm hard on dumb men. Next question. Anybody can say things, and boy, elected officials are really good at that. You got to punish them. Even if it's your own party, sometimes you got to say, this makes no sense. And frankly, if you want to talk about the Cowboys away from this decision, they stopped being America's team about 25 years ago. They're not America's anything. If they are sitting in a jail or a prison, they can't physically hurt somebody. I know that seems rather simplistic, but that's the answer.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on WTMJ.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling